last time in Renascence. And I wrote a recap this time. The party had approached Pirate Lord Stephen Pythe as a possible in with Renshall. And over breakfast, you worked out an agreement to perform a favor to be determined in exchange for introductions. That night at dinner, Pythe brought his determined plan before the party. He wanted them to rob rival pirate lord Hinmore Segan's manor, hoping to procure some blackmail material with which he could force Segan to ally with Pythe and his compatriots. The planning session went awry, however, when the party took note of a somewhat suspicious waiter attending to their table. They tipped off Pythe, and things rapidly escalated into a violent brawl in the kitchen that left the spy half dead and his sending interrupted. Pythe set to interrogate the man and put the plan on hold while the party debated what their next course of action would be. The rest of the night proved just as chaotic. Pythe threw the spy off the roof before pulling Barnaby into a midnight shark fishing excursion, and then spent the rest of the night on a drug-fueled bender, while the party looked on nervously. The next morning, the party received a message from a certain HS wanting to meet with them. They determined that this was Hinmore Segan, the target of the proposed heist, and they spent the rest of the day learning what they could of him. They eventually decided to agree to the meeting, and Noel messaged him to confirm the plan. Speaking with Pythe later that afternoon, it appeared that his heist plan had been stalled out for the time being, and the party decided to simply bide their time and see how things developed. So it is now the 40th of Irizen, 2 days since Marco the Spy was discovered. Tonight, the party is due to meet with Segan during a performance at the Ambition Assembly Hall. Are there any questions before we begin? Yes.
Did Marco? What happened to this? What Marco was using a sending stone, right?
Yes.
What happened to the stone? Do we know?
Pythe took it.
Okay, so it wasn't thrown off the building with him. All right.
I mean, in the brief moment when you saw the body, Barnaby, I don't know that you would have had enough time to glean if the stone was there or not. But last you saw it, Pythe picked it up as Marco was being escorted out of the kitchen.
Yep, because that's what you really want. Two pirate lords connected by sending stones.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they already have one for each other.
Yeah.
Do we just there's a room in freaking Pythe's area that you walk in, it's just a wall of sending stones.
We really should find a way to compress these.
I thought we had some kind of notebook. Question.
Or telephone.
Yeah, just invent the telephone at this point.
One device that could call all of these people.
Question though, when we talked to Stephen Pythe about his plan, he was like, "Oh, I got you when it comes to getting him out of his place for a little while, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And then when Segan messaged back, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be down there anyway."
He said he was coming up. Yeah.
Or yeah, he's coming up anyway. Like, are we? Is this like just a weird coincidence, or did Stephen? Is this related to something that Stephen did? Do we know?
Stephen did not mention anything to you guys about luring him out, and from what you've talked about with Stephen so far, he has indicated that he is still stumped on how to proceed with this plan.
So this seems like it's unrelated to whatever, at least from our perspective.
Unrelated to Stephen, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, morning of the 40th, you guys awaken in Lauren's room at the Royal Colonial. What do you want to do?
So, one I'd like to say, we probably should get a different room or go to a different tavern or something.
Like go to a different hotel at this point?
I don't know if the...
When we go in camping?
Camping. But we only have to be familiar with the woods we're going to. Not
we
the woods
don't have to camp necessarily.
We've learned this.
Oh,
We did clarify this last session. Yeah.
The only problem with camping is it's like a day out and a day back, so we can't do it quickly.
You know, I wonder if it would be possible if he's saving it for some kind of vote or something, so that he can be like, "Hey, you vote the way that I want to." Couldn't we just give him a piece of fake intel, because we're not going to be there that long?
Give who a piece of fake intel?
5. Because apparently we're well, in his mind. We know that we're not because we've been contacted, but in his mind, we're in the clear and he doesn't know we exist.
Right. There's a lot of angles we could take this from. It kind of just depends what Segan wants out of it.
I do have a thought about this. We don't really know. Like, I do think we should hear out Segan, and at this point, I feel like this is the best option to attempt to get in touch with John's dad, the guy. Just because, like, one, we're on his good side, and we don't know anything about Stephen Pyth, and he's kind of like the neutral party on the island, so he's not going to be able to get us the connections to go and actually meet the guy.
I mean, it might. It is very difficult to stay neutral, you know.
We don't know for sure how deep Segan's connections goes, and if he proves to be a more stable way to get to Rensal than Mr. Pyth, I would lean towards that.
Actually, I think it'd be.
Are any pirate lord going to be stable? Yeah, I was going to say, is anyone here going to be stable?
His part of town was pretty nice. I don't know.
Stephen Pyth's part of town was pretty nice.
Well, I look at it this way, and this is just my opinion of things. It's not necessarily correct, but if he has managed to stay neutral in this whole thing, he's managed to stay neutral against 3 other pirate lords on either side, which means either A, he has something that is very hard to overcome for some reason, or B, the 3 pirate lords on either side are doing so much infighting that he doesn't even have to worry about it. Which actually seems like a pretty real possibility.
Like he's neutral because he doesn't get involved.
Correct.
Somewhere deep in betting which you hear a very distant at the mention of infighting.
Make that 70-75% chance that it's inviting. I'll raise my odds a little bit on that.
I had one other thing. Since we're gonna see Segan, one, I feel like we should figure out if we're all gonna go, or if it's just gonna be a few of us. 2, also probably see what a attire is for a play. I don't know if it's gonna be a fancy play, but I don't look fancy right now. If that's
I enjoy plays. We're not gonna be actually watching the play.
Probably not, but
I have a strong feeling it's going to be Segan's
to
choice what we go to. I think he's just reserving a seat at whatever is available.
It's my favorite movie.
Well, I think like we can see what's supposed to be kind of playing, so we can try to figure that out.
I'm just gonna cast Sending on him again, just so we can clarify this.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just say, as I said before, we are willing to meet. We just need to know how many you're expecting, where and when.
The reply that you get is a little sleepy sounding, as it is.
Oops.
It is morning.
I woke up.
How could you? He's gonna hate us now. He's gonna hate us more.
I don't think he hates us yet.
The Ambition Assembly Hall is
fair
producing an opera called Tempo Ebdrina. However many of you are comfortable is perfectly fine. Five or one, your choice.
Oh fuck. He knows our numbers.
He knows
I hate this
everything.
so much. That's fucking everything.
Well, not quite everything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He's missing one, but
Ish. We'll say a half.
a half.
The question is, did he forget Burr or Barry?
They both point at each other.
As weird as it sounds, if this guy wanted to do terrible things with the information he had, this is not the route he would take, I don't think, to do it. There's probably
That's
some
fair,
legitimacy to
but-
his statements.
Oh, I don't like it.
Well, he said any number of us could come.
Yeah.
Who all wants to go?
I mean, I'll go, but I'm not happy.
I'd go, but I'm going to complain the whole time. Oh, I don't like the outro.
Grr.
But Alorian, he might be hot.
Fucking. Oh, that's right. He's pretty hunky.
And you have a
Okay.
whole
Never
deck
mind.
to
I'm
complete.
sold.
You're already 2 in.
I know.
Or you could be 2 in. I guess
Python
technically you're
next.
1 in.
We can do Python, Mr. Segan. We're gonna collect all the pirate lords before I leave. Gotta collect them all, y'all.
Isn't one of them like an evil old
Burr
wizard?
just starts tackling, and Barry's just shaking his head.
What was that, Noel?
I said, isn't one of them like an evil old wizard guy or warlock or whatever?
Yeah, I'm gonna count Varys as
As
the
is.
win for that one.
Stand-in.
Perhaps you try just doing one from each faction instead of going for the head itself. It sounds like much lower stakes to go that route.
That's smart. I like that.
Also, you have a lot less clearances to go through.
Well, I fit maybe 2 pirate lords, so we'll see.
I feel like that if Pythe would be pretty easy to get to, since he's drunk
Oh
like
yeah,
90% of the time. Is he what's called
Nah,
a
I probably
functioning
just-
alcoholic?
yes,
Barely.
very much so. I probably could just show him my boobs,
Clever.
and he would be like, "Ooh, okay, let's go."
Okay, well, it sounds like
Um,
at least me and Aloran are going. Burberry, do you want to come?
I would also like to go.
Fair enough.
does opera sound like formal clothes? Just or nice
We
to
haven't
wear at
really
least?
seen anyone wearing anything nice here. Like, I don't know. Have we walked by this assembly hall? Have we seen people go in and out of it in our jaunts around the city?
You've probably passed it since you guys were exploring Westgate a day or two ago. I think actually it was yesterday. And Westgate was a pretty nice neighborhood. Bit more upscale than most of the city. Not quite as like ostentatious as the Riviera necessarily. Like you don't have like the gaudy displays of wealth there, but it definitely looks, stable and affluent for a neighborhood. And while the theater was not open the day that you were walking back and forth, like nobody was going in and out of it, it did look like a pretty nice establishment. Like it's a pretty large opera house style structure. It's got the big facade with the pillars and stairs and like gold plated doors and embellishments.
Would it be safe to assume that people would
People will
dress
be
up
nicely
nice?
dressed. Probably. It's probably a safe bet.
Okay.
Considering
Let's go
there are a lot of high-end casinos in what seems to be most of the areas, I think our likelihood of getting robbed is significantly less than we thought it would be when we first arrived.
In some neighborhoods.
In some neighborhoods.
Alright,
Thank you
in
very
some
much,
neighborhoods.
voice from the sky.
Coron? Alright, let's
Let's
go.
go shopping.
I guess we're going shopping.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So,
I don't know why you think you need a shopper lord. You look great at everything.
Yes, but I think this is a little stained in blood.
Yeah, the pirate outfit you got before you came here is definitely like got that arterial spray from Marco's jugular and chest where Segan fucking perforated him, or not Segan, Pythe. So if you want to get new gloves, that's fine.
I mean, red really is your color. Well, I guess it's more brown at this point.
That's morbid.
It's very morbid.
Did you expect anything less, really?
But I appreciate that.
Do you have a particular style of clothing that you're looking for, or a particular place that you are looking for to go shopping and procure?
Honestly, let's go to a clothing shop and talk to the person and be like, we're going to an opera tonight at yada yada. What do you recommend?
Okay.
That's
sure. So, there's you guys probably like head out of the hotel and make your way sort of down the main walk of the Riviera, and you don't have to walk far to find yourself a decent boutique. Step inside, like they've got nice dresses in the windows, like men's suits. It's all very upscale and fashionable. Decent variety on display here too. You can see some stuff that's more, Emerald Coast oriented, and the stuff that looks like it's from further afield, like the Samores further north. There's some more sort of exotic flares in the collars and the cuts of these dresses. And attending is this red dragonborn woman. As soon as you guys walk in, little bell jingles, and she kind of steps out from the back room where she was working and steps up to you and say, "Well, welcome to my humble establishment. What can I help you with?"
Hey, we're going to an opera at the place the God in the Sky said.
The Ambition Assembly Hall.
Thank you. That place.
Sounds like you have quite the
What
evening
do you
planned.
recommend?
Well, excuse me.
Would you like a lozenge? Lozenge?
A lasagna. Thank you.
Would you like a lasagna?
I'm not gonna do that voice. Fuck that. She will say to you, well, in that case, I would have to recommend some elegant, sophisticated formal wear. Nothing too risque, but definitely enough.
I want the riskiest elegant that you can possibly get.
I wonder what your question is like when she sees John.
Really towing the line on this one, aren't you? Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. I want to toe the line real hard.
Oh, you're thinking red carpet and less stateswoman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
exactly.
In that case, I have. I actually do have a special order that was left behind that might fit you with a little tailoring. This was for an Elthori woman who, like you, was attending an opera before she failed to pick up her purchase. So, here it is. And she'll bring you over to this mannequin pretty close to the window. And it is this red, like studded with little crystals dress that is more like this very long spiral wrap that just kind of like curls its way up around the body. Like there's a big long gown, and then it wraps from the gown around the back and then across the bodice. Totally backless, no straps, and you've got like a lot of exposure in the belly and the ribs. Like it's extremely revealing. Very in line with the sort of things that Aloran has worn so far.
Is it tasteful? Noelle, is this tasteful? Will I look like a hooker if I put this on?
DM, will
certainly
she look like a hooker?
tasty.
This looks a lot more expensive than anything you've ever seen a hooker wear, so probably not.
So a high end.
I think this is out of the.
So a courtesan.
This is
Yeah,
out
the
of the
high
price.
end
This is like a royal hooker.
An escort.
Yes.
I mean, she does charge escort prices.
This is in line with Luna or Opal's.
I was gonna say this actually fits the
character
Opal
so far.
thing fairly well.
I do have a question. Can we get it into a different color? Is there a way to just like different color? Red does not suit my skin very well.
I could get in touch with the friends.
Even
it's somewhat
if
short
you get it like
notice.
light pink,
Like
it doesn't have to change the color completely.
Would purple
What was
work?
that?
If purple would work, it's probably possible to just stick it in blue dye. That way you have less to try and change, like bleaching it or...
I was just going to talk to a mage, right? I know. But,
That also works.
yes, we could potentially have that ready for you by tonight. The original
How much is it?
commission was 120 gold pieces, half up front, half on retrieval. So if you are retrieving, that'll be 60.
Fuck it. If she looks not like a hook, but she's also appealing, I'll take it.
Okay.
So are we all going or just her?
Me, Gerber, and Warren have confirmed. Do you want to go, John? You're welcome to.
If there's clothes that can work for me.
You don't need a shirt, John. You'll be
I
fine.
was just gonna say
Okay.
you might have to wear a shirt.
I would
I
recommend
just
shirt.
Oh. I flex my
You don't have
abs
to
as much
button
as I
it.
can. Just like my pecs, just a little bit.
They're
I really need a
very-
shirt.
They're very impressive, sir, but you will need to cover up for the opera.
So I'm going to need you to take those out of my face for a moment.
Do you have anything
Lauren's
that
like,
that can fit my size?
I've
Okay,
never seen John
so-
wear a shirt.
so Burberry says, like, completely earnestly, like, he actually tries it, is,
Perhaps a crop top?
Maybe like a form-fitting shirt.
A crop top for the opera.
It is
I
more
think
than he has
might
on currently,
say-
and it does let him show off his assets.
I mean,
I feel like
the only
Crop top
reason I
might be a
don't
little-
wear a shirt on the regular is because when I go into battle, it always breaks.
I hope you don't plan on going into battle in the opera, John. I have
Ooh,
concerns
how
if
about
you
this?
are, or questions on how you deal with high notes.
But no,
maybe
that's why I
can
don't
like just
wear a
wearing a
shirt.
suit jacket work? Like just a suit jacket with no shirt underneath, so then he can just like bop it off real quick.
Why does he need to bop it off real quick?
Is that?
Are you guys planning to jump
Are
Segan?
we going to kill
Is
this
that the
man?
play?
I do not.
I don't have any
Maybe.
intention of
endorse
killing
this
anyone.
plan.
So
We're
my
on Pirate
question
Island. I'm expecting the
is,
worst.
do you have something that'll fit me?
Well, I do have a number of clients in your size who come through. Orcish, Goliath, some Verbolg men. If you'll step over here to our extra large section, she'll show you some of the
Big and tall.
men's suits that she has. Yeah,
is
the
it
big
like
and tall.
6XL?
Yeah, no, I mean these are clearly tailored to suit like
These are
orcs.
probably like 6XL.
Big fucking guys. Most of them are pretty, clean cut, straightforward, like, black tie, tuxedo coats and stuff like that. Nothing too outlandish that she has on hand here.
I'll get the one that looks the best on me, I guess.
Okay, yeah, sure. So try on a few coats, find yourself a decent fit. Are you determined to go shirtless, or would you like the full ensemble to go with your coat, sir?
The full ensemble?
You know, the cravats, the undershirts,
No,
tie.
I didn't mean that as a question.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. We'll get you set up then. So she'll help you get set up in a nice tuxedo.
I'm just gonna show up in leather pants and a suit jacket. Nothing else.
I mean, it was fashionable about 7 years ago. I am not very up on my fashion, admittedly.
I remember those times. The seamstress seems a little shell-shocked.
They were both very wonderful and kind of awful at the same time.
I should remember, like, real world in the 80s, there was a fashion like that where people would have no shirt on, just a suit jacket.
It was like a hot model thing, which
Yeah.
allegedly John could probably pull off.
He's got the Fabio style going.
To Lauren. Could have done it, John.
What's up?
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll get something formal for tonight.
Okay.
I would probably lean on something that's like something I would have seen in Ennegaard as like a formal elven attire, something that would fit that theme.
Okay. Something more conservative, but still has a very regal sort of bearing to it. It's probably got like the sash up behind the neck, tied up back. Potentially some gloves, the big long over the elbow gloves. Any particular color? She's probably got a few different selections on hand. Some pattern, some solid.
I feel like I gotta go with red or black.
Sure, yeah. Your choice. She's got both.
Red. Do red. Red.
Red it is.
Okay. So a very sophisticated red satin velvet. What are we thinking?
Surprise me.
Surprise. Okay, sure. We'll say velvet dress. Why not? It is starting to cool off, so this makes a little bit of sense here. So that's 4 of you, or 3 of you now. Burberry, Barnaby, any thoughts on clothing?
I believe that I will be all right. I'll just flip.
Don't worry about me. I'll just be the bodyguard looking type.
Oh, well, you're probably not going to take that off, are you? Looks at like all of the armor that he's wearing.
Oh, I can just put a bow tie on it. Be cute. Can I get a bow tie for his armor?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just gonna tie it around his little neck.
That's adorable.
It's just barely poking up over like the gorget.
And I'm like, look at you, so sophisticated, Barnaby.
LDM, how much will this dress run me?
A pig in a suit is still a pig.
Damn, Barnaby.
God damn. That was hurtful to yourself, sir.
How do you feel about perfumes?
To Barnaby.
Me? Oh.
I mean,
the only perfume I like is the one coming off of my cookware and cooked food, and my food being cooked.
You like the smell of food?
Yeah.
How do you feel about lemon or jasmine or rosemary or the likes like that?
Can you mix it all in a big jug with some meat and some rice, and then that sounds good?
Just straight.
That's a bit too plain.
To answer your question, Pete, that's going to be 50 gold pieces for off the rack.
50 gold.
Although, if you wish to go to the perfume store, Lauren, we can also go there.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
I think at the very least, Barnaby should wipe down his armor before we go.
Do you know a place that sells?
We'll just buy perfume for Barnaby and just accidentally spill it on him. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oops.
My
I'm
bad.
so sorry, Barnaby. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Poor stinky Barnaby. Always smelling like shrimp.
And
gumbo
dirt.
sauce. And dirt.
And iron. And probably sweat.
Stale.
Doesn't it get hot in there?
Well,
He's probably
if I
boiling.
stand out
his
in the
blood,
sun
I
long
don't
enough.
know.
You probably smell like the food you cook when you stand out this long enough.
Exactly. Smells like beautiful
Oh,
smoke.
God.
I was gonna say
Oh,
cooked meat, but
no.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Just, steam broiling yourself.
Well, and John, that'll be 50 for your suit.
Perhaps some armor polish?
That's what I'm thinking. Clean it up, polish it.
Or wait, did John has stepped away from the computer?
I believe that if we wanted to go our different ways, Noelle, Lauren, and I could possibly look into a perfume store of some kind, avoiding any accidents. And perhaps Barnaby and John would like to go to an armory for armor polish and fun.
We could do that.
I much prefer my armor dirty, thank you.
You will have plenty of
Barnaby, we're
opportunities
gonna
to
clean
dirty
your
it.
damn armor. We're gonna throw rosemary on you, guys.
We
It's
just
just
need it
gonna get
clean.
dirty again like I like it.
That's true, but we just need to clean for one night.
One night, Barnaby. That's all we ask.
You can go
We can
roll
go
around in a
roll
mud
in the
puddle
mud when we're
tomorrow.
done.
It's either one night of
Get all
cleanliness
dirty again.
tonight, I think, or you have a very smelly accident in your future.
You
I've been
decide.
eating a lot of fiber. I don't know what kind of accident you're talking about.
It will not be your accident.
Someone's gonna shit in my armor.
And it better not be me.
What the hell? Someone shit my armor.
While I was wearing it.
Adding to the revenge list. Whoever done took a dump in my armor.
So gross.
Oh, no.
Wait, hold on. What's Barnaby's intelligence again?
He's the smartest one of
Plus
our group.
2.
He's
I
the
got a
smartest
+2
one.
bonus.
Yep.
If you can't solve this mystery, none of us can.
Well, no, I was gonna say, if you can't figure it out in context from the previous situation, I have concerns. Or previous conversation, sorry.
Well, you guys have procured clothing. Is there anything else you would like to procure for the day?
I think we could probably time skip to the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we want to say that you guys spent the day doing?
Lauren was looking at hunky men.
Window shopping.
Yep.
Sure.
It's nothing if not consistent.
Out on the town, people watching. Eventually, the sun will begin to set, indicating it is probably time to start making your way back towards Westgate. So, with your fancy new clothes in tow.
Did Barnaby clean his
away.
armor?
Oh, question.
Barnaby very begrudgingly does.
Okay.
Harumph.
I was
But he
gonna-
doesn't do a good job of it.
On an unrelated note, I would like to make a purchase for jasmine perfume.
Okay. Perfume will probably not run you a lot. Let's see here. What does fucking alchemy shit look like? Probably not a lot. Oh no, perfume actually is a thing. 5 gold pieces.
Cool.
That is an actual item in the adventuring.
Oh, look at that.
I would also like to get a floral scent.
Okay.
For and a
And one more scent that I haven't decided on yet. I'll get back to you.
Okay. It's going to be 5 gold pieces per vial, so
That's
whatever
fine.
you end up deciding on. Cool. So, purchases in tow. Just to the nines. You guys make your way to Westgate, crossing into the neighborhood, paying your little fee as the sort of border patrol makes small talk. It's like, oh, you're dressed very nicely. You heading to the theater. Well, da, da, da. Enjoy your evening, folks. So 5 silver to step into Westgate and make your way to the Ambition Assembly Hall. Now, this theater, which you would recall loosely passing, fairly close to the wharf and the piers. It's pretty coastal. When you saw it last, the windows were dark. You know, it was midday, sun shining down on it. Impressively built building. Beautiful architecture. You can see some of that old draconic stonework sort of integrated into the foundation of the building. Now, however, as dusk is setting in, the lights are shining from inside. There's a beautiful marquee sign over the door. These blinking electric lights in this sort of rotating pattern around the words. What was it? Tempo Ebrina. An Ambition Assembly production. And the entire venue is just full of people now, all dressed similarly to you, very elegant, upscale formal wear. You can see a wide variety of folks milling about here and stepping into sort of the grand foyer. This seems to be as much sort of a social event at start as it is a show. You know, you can see all these tables set up. There's like a cocktail bar off to one side that is very busy serving drinks to all the patrons. You can see that there are stairs leading up to the second floor galleries, presumably where those box seats are going to be. As well as, you know, these large prominent double doors sort of flanked by curtains that are leading into the sort of the first floor main seating area. And, you know, very distantly you can hear the sounds of the orchestra sort of warming up, the sounds of strings, you know, sort of planking and sawing in bits and spits and bursts, the drums occasionally sounding. It's very hoity-toity in here, and this might be the most sort of fancy get together most of you have ever been to. So now that you are here,
How big is this hall?
How big? You'd guess there's probably at least like 1,000 people. If everyone here is part of the audience, you'd guess there's probably about 1,000 in total.
Oh, no. So I mean like local theater versus the Metropolitan Opera.
Not quite Metropolitan Opera, but it's a big, very nice theater.
Let me just get down to it. How many fireballs would it take to kill everyone in here?
So a fireball.
I know what you're asking, Kat. I'll just cut to the chase.
Yeah, has
very close. It was Spirit across. Guardians, but your head's in the right
Gotcha.
place.
Spirit Guardians, sure. Probably like 10 to 12.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. So, where's everybody at? What's the play? What do you
Is
think
there like
doing?
what's the word?
Is there a playbill?
That wasn't what I was going to ask, but that's a good question.
Oh, is there a play note? Was that what the
Yeah.
word? Okay, yes. They are definitely handing those out.
I want
if you
one.
collect one, yeah, grab it.
I'll grab
Beautiful
one.
little printed booklet. Again, the title instead of the marquee, now you see it like in this beautiful sort of calligraphy scroll, Tempo Ebrina, and then there's a subtitle underneath, The Tale of the Smith. And in silhouette under a spotlight, you can see this tall, muscular, bald figure, sword in hand, kind of raising the sword, hand on their chest, singing their heart out, with sort of the stage lights illuminating them, and the crowd very faintly visible in the background of the illustration. Very striking imagery. And looking inside, you'd probably see it's like, oh, the Smith is going to be played by a guy named Perrin Swiftriver. The Wretch is played by a woman, Silrona Flosham. There's a whole
this
cast
opera
here.
in common?
It looks to have been penned in Elvish.
It's a big learning opportunity.
You're right. They'll be singing slowly.
Yeah. Who's the first chair violinist?
It's a halfling, Garfer. His name is Garfer Littlefound.
It says halfling next to his first chair violinist title.
You could fucking tell by the name Garfer. Nobody names their
Garfer
kids
the
after
halfling.
halflings.
Everybody knows Garfer.
Garfer's a halfling name. Ain't no way.
We're gonna get in there. It's gonna be like a half orc, and it's be like, that's what we get for assuming.
Is there a person who directs you to your seats?
Yeah, you can see that there are ushers sort of gathered by the doors. Yeah.
I would ask them to point us towards box seats. I don't know if it's like they would lead you to the box seat or if it's like there's a box area you'd go to, but however we would get there would be useful.
Okay, yeah. There's probably like the box office is visible off to the side if you wanted to go inquire about tickets, or if you want to go to ask an usher. Either way.
Let's go inquire about tickets, I guess.
Well, he said he was gonna. Did he say we were gonna all, like he was gonna reserve the spot for us, or do we have to buy our way in?
I don't think we have to buy our way in, but the box office would have reserved tickets.
Also, what did he reserve it under?
I mean, if it was
Segan, go through our names.
Unless he's disguising himself. I guess I mean we could just ask if Segan, has a box tonight.
Yeah. So you had an elvish woman and asking about Segan. She's like, "Oh, you are Mr. Segan's guests. Well, yes, I do have 5 tickets reserved here for your party. So once the production starts and Mr. Segan has been situated, he has requested that you all be led up and shown to your seats. So just let any of the ushers know. Everyone's been briefed on the situation.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the production, and best of luck with your business with Mr. Segan.
Could I make a perception check to see if we're about to be assassinated?
Yeah. Can I get an insight check? Holy shit.
Yeah, sure.
That wording made me nervous.
Well, that's a good one to waste a roll on. That's a
We
13.
don't get debriefed.
13.
Do I see any assassins
yes.
who rolled that one stealth check in the corner?
Yeah, lurking just behind the elvish woman, you see a man in a dark suit and mask with a little dagger. It's like just waiting. No, there's nobody obviously waiting in the dark behind curtain. There's nothing like that. Like you look around, this is a very schmaltzy, busy fucking shindig. Nobody jumps out at you immediately as plotting your imminent demise. What was the insight check?
A 5 plus a 6, so
11.
Yeah.
I mean, the way she said it sounded perfectly normal to you. Just kind of weird that she said it at all, I guess.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm sketched out. No.
I'm sure it's fine. Okay. Well, we will wait until.
This is how we all die.
Yeah, maybe. We'll wait until we, I guess see Segan walk in or are directed by the ushers.
Okay, sure.
Lauren is gonna go get a drink after that. She's like, oh god, I need alcohol.
Breathe. Yeah.
I need alcohol. My composure back.
Sure. You head over to the bartender, and it is a dwarvish fella. All right, what can I get you, lass?
The strongest thing you have.
If you're
Don't
sure.
you have a bag of storage with alcohol in it?
I left it. I don't think I'm carrying that right now. But yes, I want the strongest thing you have.
Oh no, you're about to get some of the Sand King's what's its nuts.
He pulls out a bottle of fire whiskey and just pours you a little tumbler of it, puts some ice in it, which immediately begins to melt and just enjoy your evening, lass.
What's the alcohol content in this?
Yes.
Wait, what literally alcohol content? DM, if I say this shit, am I obliterated?
The guy has already moved on and is tending drinks. Give me a history check, I'll say.
Okay.
Dragonfire ale.
Did she do it with advantage because she drinks so much booze?
Touche. With advantage.
Okay. My first roll was a 17, and my second roll was a 9, so we'll go with an 18 history.
18. Okay. Yeah, fire whiskey, typically a dwarvish brew, very strong. Does seem to involve a bit of magic in the final steps of the process. It's about as alcoholic as most whiskeys, probably a little bit stronger, but there is that extra little touch of magic in it that does sort of amplify the effects.
Magic whiskey.
You're definitely gonna feel it.
Lauren pours it down the hatch, and she's just like,
Just throw it back. Okay.
much fucking better.
I'll say,
Another.
give me a Constitution saving throw.
What? You said it's
Magic
like regular
alcohol.
It is magic alcohol. Actually, it was just poison. We've been killed.
Damn it. Yeah, right.
No, that's
This
just
is how
her.
Lauren died.
1 down, 4 to go.
The Triton likes to drink. Make sure to poison her alcohol. Oh, sweet. An 18 plus 2.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, plus 3. So 21.
This shit hits you like a fucking truck. It's very strong, and you immediately feel that as like the sedative effects kind of wash over your body. Thankfully, you are a seasoned alcoholic and keep your shit together. So, for mechanical purposes, you are not poisoned, and you are free to continue about your night. Anybody else want to drink? Okay, Lauren seems much calmer.
Yeah, Lauren wanders back and is like, let's do this shit, y'all.
That was fast.
Lauren, if you continue to be crazy like that, I am going to fix your drunkenness.
No! She runs. She fucking sprints away from you.
I said if!
The party next to you at their little table is like, oh my, fanning themselves as Lauren just fucking runs out of wherever she's going. So Noelle,
Honestly, they should be impressed.
Go ahead and give me a perception check since you wanted to keep an eye out for Segan.
This is officially my favorite threat ever now.
16?
I will threaten you with your sobriety.
Okay. I will say you watching the staircase and kind of the vicinity around it. You do eventually see some of the patrons beginning to make their way upstairs towards the box seats. It looks like they're beginning to start the seating, starting with the fancy folk. And there is a party of probably like 10 individuals that you notice kind of stands out to you. They seem to be sort of keeping or creating a wide berth around a central figure. And they make their way up the stairs and up the right set of stairs, and along the right side of the upper hall, down that hallway towards presumably box seating. That strikes you as the most Segan likely party of anyone you've seen so far. And at this point, the rest of the attendees here are beginning to be approached by ushers and beckon towards the doors. The doors have been opened. You can hear the orchestra now very slowly, kind of working their preamble up, getting kind of the atmosphere set in the hall. People are getting to filter into their seats, and before long, the foyer here has drastically emptied. There's maybe a handful of folks still lingering around the tables, enjoying drinks, just kind of shooting the shit. Maybe not super interested in opera so much as just like fancy clothes and beer. And you see the ushers close the doors to the main hall, and from behind them you hear the swelling of music and the beginning of the first major movement of the opera.
We're gonna get assassinated, y'all.
Please stop saying that, Lauren.
And as the lead begins their first verse in Elvish, presumably this is the Smith singing, you see from down that right hallway, Noel, one usher makes their way back downstairs, kind of looks around the hall as they are approaching the box office, and finally catches sight of the five of you. Nods and approaches. He says, "I presume you are here to join Mr. Segan for the night."
That's correct.
Yes, well, all right, this way. He is ready for you. And he will turn and lead you back upstairs, down that right hallway. And as you are sort of walking down this way, you do see along this walk, the left side, there's all these arches with these drawn curtains, presumably leading to the box seats. And along the right side, you can see doors to restrooms, side rooms, etc. And as you approach sort of the furthest reach of this hall, getting close to the stage, you do start to see that there are security personnel sort of standing at attention along this hall. There's a couple sitting at sort of the third to last box seat, just kind of flanking the door. They just kind of watch as you walk past. And then as you pass the second to last one, you see that there are about 8 individuals standing, 2 alongside the door, 2 beside them, and then 4 on the other side of the hallway, just kind of hands clasps, eyes watching the door and the hall and you. And as you approach, the usher walks up to the first one and says, "These are Segan's appointments, so if we may." And these bouncers, security folk, tough guys, kind of hold up a hand and wave. He waves another one up to you guys. And this is a pretty big, burly guy. He's still a good 1.5 feet shorter than Barnaby and John, but he's about as wide. Totally shaved head, and this big handlebar mustache. And he just kind of walks up in his tuxedo and looks over Noel and Lauren. It's like, all right. Looks at John and Barnaby, and he says, "What are you packing?"
Bunch of spice, some dried fish,
Lauren, please stop that.
dried jerky.
That's not good.
What?
Deer muscle?
Not sure he does.
Oh no.
Why don't you raise your arms for me, tough guy? He walks up to you, Barnaby.
All right.
And he is going to start patting you down. Did you bring anything with you?
I brought Bertha, but she's not loaded.
So your gun is just over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Lucky with that?
How did none of us notice this?
Are you allowed him in? What?
I think looking at the security guys here, they also clearly have weapons like at their belts. A couple of guys look like they have swords. One guy's got something like slung over his shoulder. You can see the haft of it. So they're armed too. And it does not take long before one guy's just like, "Hey, bro," and he points to Bertha. It's like, "Ha!" He's gonna reach over your shoulder and like unloop it from your arm and kind of check the chamber.
She ain't loaded.
Yeah, she ain't. Smart. He'll do one clear of it. Fucking get the bolt in there and just to be sure before he hands it back to you.
Be careful with Bertha.
Hey, you be careful, guy. Be fucking just back to your armor. And he's gonna look over at John. Yeah, you ain't got nothing in there. Like John's suit is like fucking so tight on him, like you would see anything bulging. So he's like, "Yeah, you're fine." All right, who's going in? And he'll look at the five of you.
All of us, I think.
All of us, I think? Or is it a set number of people?
However you want to do this. Just know we'll be out here.
I think we'll just all go in.
I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm so confused.
All right. Right this way. Mr. Segan's waiting. And he will step over to the curtain to the box, pull it aside, and allow you guys to step in. As you step into the box, very spacious little compartment here. Very big, cushy, like leather upholstered seats, and a commanding view of the stage down below. And in line with what you've seen of this building, it is a beautiful production. Like they've got really immaculately painted and cut sets, really pretty like gossamer curtains, like sort of setting the tone of this like frozen wasteland that the smith now finds himself in. And he's going off on this long, sad song again in Elvish. So Noel, you can kind of piece some of the lyrics together about his exile. It's very beautiful, very like immediately moving. You're just like you're hit by this wall of music and song. But what you see immediately in front of you, seated in one of these seats, very attentively watching the play, is the figure you can only assume is Mr. Henmore Segan. And he turns to look at you all, and there's no real expression on his face, just some raised eyebrows. You're here, good. Please have a seat. And he will gesture beside him to the swath of empty seats in the box.
Here, I'll take a seat near him.
I'll sit near him too.
All right.
I guess.
I don't know how the seats are arranged here, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's probably got like one empty seat on his right side, and the rest of the empty seats are like to his left or behind him.
Okay, I'll sit next to Noel, my blunderbuss sister.
yes.
Okay. Cool. Any preferences from the rest of the party?
I would like to sit close to the stage.
So on Mr. Segan's right side, cool. That is the closest to the stage you can get in the box seats.
I thought he was like cornered. Oh, okay. No.
He's like second to the furthest right in his seat. And he is just like I said, yeah, you've got him surrounded basically. And yeah, sitting down next to this guy, you can see he is a human man. Definitely younger than Stephen Pythe by dint of that, but he looks to be roughly the same age, like physically. Similar sort of complexion with the slight lines in the face, the crow's feet. He's got this very thick head of curly black hair that he's let grow out to like his shoulders. Very clean and well coiffed, but he's got a lot of fucking hair. These little mustache that's like mostly shaved in the middle, but like grows out of the corners of the mouths, and then a very short little kind of pointed patch goatee under his lip. And he's got this pretty understated black tuxedo one, not too dissimilar from John's, aside from the size. And he's just sitting hands clasped watching the opera as it unfolds. And Johnny, yes.
You already know my question. What's the hunk level?
It's like if Stephen Pythe was human, hairier, and took better care of himself, which is
Okay.
pretty up there for an older gentleman. He looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Dope. Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Fair enough.
That's all we needed. We leave.
You all stand up and leave. He says, interesting. So.
He's worth it. I don't know, bang it. Let's go.
I would say, do you want to talk now or wait for this song to be over?
I do like this piece. He will just kind of let it sit at that. And a few more minutes pass as the smith continues his aria. Finally, the orchestra, hits their fucking climax, and the smith gives out his final parting note, and the audience all stands up and claps. You see Segan very politely clapping from his seat, and
I seem enraptured the entire song.
I'll clap.
Everyone claps. And Segan finally returns his attention to you all. He says, "Well, you are the residents of room 310, I think."
Caught us red-handed.
Yep. How did you know?
Well, Mako, as I'm sure you know, I assume he is no longer with us.
We are sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Mako understood the risks of the assignment, and he accepted regardless. So, here we are.
Well, you reached out to us.
No. You are familiar with me. I am only passingly familiar with the five of you, as he glances over his shoulder, and now for the first time gets a look at Barnaby and John, and just kind of pauses at the sight of them. You two are very large, aren't you?
They're the muscle.
And he begins to kind of.
What can I say? I like my gumbo.
He begins to scrutinize John in particular at the sight of him. Interesting.
That seems to be a reoccurring word around here.
And I imagine you know why at this point.
That's kind of why we're here.
As far as I know.
Is it?
Yep.
It's because he has excellent cheekbones, reminiscent of someone else.
Renzel is not the man I would ever have characterized as having excellent cheekbones, as you put it. But I take your point. You are here looking to make contact.
Yes, we're trying to seek out Renzel.
So you sought out Mr. Pythe.
We had a series of people suggested to us. Some direct connections, some indirect. Stephen Pythe seemed like the most direct connection. Our interests have nothing to do with the politics of this island, save for how they affect Renzel directly.
I see. And in the course of your dealings with Mr. Pythe, you were considering robbing my manor.
It was suggested to us.
I would say slightly borrowing and maybe never seeing the item back.
Even in Dagamore, we call that stealing, miss.
Mm.
And I'm afraid you have me at a loss, as you all know my name, but I do not know any of yours. What should I call you?
We don't really have a group name. I'm Luna Blackwood.
A shrimp.
Everyone just calls me Locks.
I can't imagine why. As
I
he
flip
kind
my
of,
I flip my hair.
at the same time, he kind of is absentmindedly doing the same thing to his hair, like just kind of a swish. And you, brother. He turns to the little priest, enraptured by the opera.
Do it,
That is
Furbury.
2
Do it.
pints.
Yeah, 2 pints.
I take it you've never been. Well, I expect you will probably enjoy the show. It is quite good, if I must say so myself. So, everyone, Miss Luna, Miss Opal, Mr. Shrimp, Mr. Lox, Mr. Two Pint. Obviously, I would greatly prefer it if you did not attempt to break into my manor and procure whatever it is Mr. Pythe has asked you to procure.
To be honest, Mr.
Can we
Pythe
agree on
has
this much?
slightly abandoned that plan at the moment, given the complications
Yeah.
that Marco added.
Somehow I doubt he has fully abandoned this plan. Pythe can be somewhat single-minded at times. So, I suppose I wanted to speak with you for a number of reasons. Obviously, to clear the air, put a face to everyone involved in this potential mistake. And 2, I suppose I wish to make a counteroffer to Mr. Pythe.
Do you want us to borrow something from him?
Given your purpose here on this island, and given that you do not have any pressing interest in the politics here, as you said, I'm thinking perhaps we could come to a more amicable arrangement than you being beholden to the whims of Mr. Pythe. You're looking to make contact with Renzo.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do me a favor instead of Mr. Pythe in exchange for that introduction?
What's the favor?
To be determined. Truth be told, I do not know that I necessarily want Mr. Pythe involved in whatever business we establish together. So if you are still intent on working with him, for the time being, I would like to keep my peace. But should you decide to further this particular arrangement, I think we could talk in more detail then.
Can you confirm to us just how you would be able to get in touch with Renzal? We know Stephen can because he was directly associated with him, but we don't know anything about you.
Well, I am well connected here in Dagamore. Renzo and I are not so close as he and Mr. Pythe, or Mr. Shirog for that matter. But we are by no means on bad blood. At least, not recently. So, if you are looking for an introduction, I can certainly facilitate one after, proper vetting.
Can you just like, I don't know, give us like a general idea of what this favor would be?
It would be relevant to my interests, obviously.
And what are your interests?
Is this a lull in the singing?
At this point, the singing probably picks back up as the smith has now encountered the first figure on his travels, the sneak. And this one is a little bit more sort of the producer's level of kind of just a comic exchange as these two sniff each other out in the wilderness with no real resources and a blizzard incoming where they need to find cover. So it's amusing, a little dark, but amusing. It's fine. Segan does not seem terribly interested in this part of the play, though.
Okay, so here's kind of where I'm coming from. So A, I don't think Burberry's ever actually seen a play before, or an opera before, so this is very interesting to him. B, he doesn't speak Elvish very well, so he's trying his best to translate it, which is not super successful, which means it requires him to concentrate a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. I'll say give me an intelligence check with advantage or disadvantage. Excuse me.
Well. Yeah, that's less than a 10.
Oof. Yeah, spoken Elvish is difficult enough, but this is being sung by some admittedly very talented opera singers. It's hard to parse. It's beautiful and moving, but you are at a loss right now. You're just kind of following the playbill, like, all right, we're here, and that's him. So cool.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume because don't judge me. I've seen a lot of opera. Usually the comic
yeah,
but he sings really quickly.
Yeah, you know opera.
So I'm gonna assume that like halfway through, Burberry just kind of gives up trying to translate it, and he does keep half an ear out. But if any like large swells or like moving songs hit, please let me know because Burberry will promptly stop listening.
Fair enough.
On a scale of like larceny to murder, what are we talking here?
As I said, we can speak in more detail if you are.
Well, you see, we got like a general idea of what Pyth wants, and we have to try and keep our options open. And if we don't have any real information, let's say we choose. Can I do a persuasion check on that?
That sounds like that could almost be an intimidation, honestly. I'd say you could make either or.
I'm going to do persuasion because I did not mean to be intimidating.
Well, you said you were going to potentially let something slip. It's like, oh.
When did I?
Didn't you just say, wasn't it the last thing you said?
I want to know what our options are.
You said something about slip. It cut out for a second, so I was like, oh.
I don't think I said slip. I think I was literally just saying, like, we know what Pyth wants. We have no idea what you want. So what's, like, how do we know, like, if one deal's better than the other?
Yeah.
Type of
we
thing.
can't, like, shut one door without knowing what the other one has behind it.
Sure.
Exactly. Because we could go and he'd be like, oh, I want you to raid this huge mansion and kill a bunch of people. And it's like, yo, this guy just wanted me to steal some shit.
If we felt like playing the odds, we'd go back to the casino.
Exactly. Like, the odds aren't in our favor, pretty much. like there's just no information. So okay, so that was 18. 20.
20. What was that? 21. Oof. That's a big number. Okay. Segan.
Maybe I'll move my little kitten boobies out. Try to be seductive. Persuasive seduction.
He considers you for a moment as you say all this. This is a fair point. Let me clarify my position then. Mr. Segan, Mr. Pythe, excuse me. Mr. Pythe, as I understand, is fishing for leverage, with which he intends to manipulate me. You would be procuring this leverage, should you choose to work with him. And I would very much appreciate it if you did not do this.
I'm sure whatever you want us to do, those people would appreciate we didn't do that either.
Which is fair. The ugly fact of the matter is, regardless of your original intent, trying to avoid the politics of this place, you are rather deep in it already.
Yeah, quite unfortunate.
If you are intent on still working with Pythe, I would be loath to say much more. Simply as a matter of security. I would not
So
want
you can't
anything
even just
sensitive getting back to him.
So you could just say murder, stealing, money laundering.
I want you to kill Mr.
Assassination.
Pythe. Please.
Oh, that sounds
Please.
like a wonderful idea.
Why
and
don't
she
you
says that
just
with
take that back to him? Take that back to him for me. Let him know, yes, Mr. Segan is eager to see you dead and hung from a public wharf. I'm sure he would love to hear it.
So to clarify, you do have a very specific task you want us to do, but you can't tell us because we are still technically talking with Pythe.
Correct.
I have a proposal for you, if you're interested in hearing it.
I am open to proposals.
Pythe still trusts us. And Pythe is, as you said, kind of bullheaded. He is going to want to get something from you while you're indisposed here in town. Is there anything that you could give us that we could bring to Pythe that you'd want Pythe to have? Something that you would want Pythe to think is true? To trick him, perhaps? Fake financial documents or information that we could say we acquired from your place? Because I feel like that would be very well, a good show of faith, if nothing else, and perhaps would lower the cost of what we need to accomplish in order to get to Renzal.
So you're proposing that I give you fake loot from your heist that you did not commit?
Yes.
I mean, I suppose we could commit a... How likely do you think that Pythe has spies in your house, so to speak? Not figurative house, not literal house.
It's possible.
I mean, if we were to fake
spies
a heist...
Spies are sort of bread and butter around here. It is not an unexpected thing.
We might need to still perform a heist, a fake one, mind you, just so that.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like we'd probably like we
Okay.
the time commitment would still have to be done, and in that case we could just pretend to go do a heist and then come back in the amount of time it would have taken us. So basically, we just go camp for 2 days.
And make sure to be very angry afterwards.
Very upset.
I'll say, give me a persuasion check, because he is thinking about it.
It would also be good for later, because if he thinks he has something on you and he doesn't,
That puts you in at an advantage, and then if we work with you, you also get a.
Is this just a straight roll or advantage because of Barbarian Lauren?
This would be a straight roll.
Well, then it is just 21.
Just 21. Oh no.
It fails. My 21 failed. No, fuck you. You know nothing. Cut your ties with Python. Come back
DC
to
was
me
20.
later. Yeah, it has to be a 30 or nothing. Sorry, I'll stop.
He is considering this offer. Obviously, if we were to carry out this falsification, I would still need something from you in exchange, since Pyth would still be the figure making your connection to Ransol. I would like to get something out of this deal, beyond not robbed.
You said you wanted a favor.
I do.
I think given the circumstances, we could, offer to complete some kind of favor for you, but like we said, our main goal here is just to get to Renzal, and I'm just trying to find the fastest point for us from A to B to get there.
Well, I tell you what, if you are determined to carry out the heist, if you would like my assistance falsifying it, I am not opposed to offering my aid in that way. I would obviously expect that to be reciprocated in some fashion by the lot of you before you left this island. I suppose if you are certain this is how you want to proceed, I think we might be able to come to some kind of agreement there.
I don't know if we are certain this is how we want to proceed, but we just don't have enough information to make a more informed decision at the moment, sir.
That is an all too common reality here, unfortunately. I do like this piece as well. This is the point in the opera where there's now this very large Monty Python-esque painted head kind of descending from the sky, and there is this very bassy singer clearly standing behind it on some kind of platform, like singing out the voice of this bearded and helmeted god sort of figure, as the smith is now sort of in this song argument with him. It's this back and forth, very bombastic. The sneak character is like cowering off to the side the entire time, like nowhere to be seen. But Segan does seem sort of enraptured by this peace, and he does seem to take a moment, break from the conversation to continue thinking and take this bit in. When it concludes with the final sort of thunderclap, this bright flash of light on the stage, everything goes dark, the curtains fall, everyone starts applauding again, Segan joins in. As the orchestra kind of resets and the curtains rise again, the set pieces have been shifted out of the wilderness and into sort of this village covered in snow sort of situation. Segan will kind of turn back to you all, and he'll say, I could have falsified documents prepared and waiting for you. If you are determined to make this happen, I can have them in a particular place, ready and waiting. And you can present them to Mr. Pyle at your leisure. With them, I think, I would like to include instructions from me on how you can reciprocate this favor of mine. Does this sound fair?
Before we agree to anything, I feel like I should perhaps talk with the group about this at the intermission.
Fair enough. He will turn his attention away from you without much more thought and just continue to watch the opera unfold.
Until we get to the intermission, I will go switch chairs and I'll move behind Burberry and I'll just give them a little bit of aid on, what the context of the song is. And...
Yay!
Can I just small talk Segan?
You want to small talk Segan?
I'll small talk Segan. I'll take Noel's seat and be like,
okay.
So,
Mr. Segan.
Mr. Segan.
Okay. So
There,
I'll
Mrs.
start with
Segan.
Noel Burberry and then back to Lauren. So Noel Burberry. Noel, I'll say first, give me a history check because it's possible that you might be familiar with the story already.
Boy, I'm rolling hot garbage tonight.
I will be
That's a 7.
Right back. Okay. 7. Actually, yeah, you've traveled a lot. You might go ahead and roll your own history roll.
I haven't seen the play, but maybe I've seen flyers for it.
You might recognize some of the characters.
Oh yeah, no, if that's a flat roll, that's no.
We have no idea.
Okay. Well, not having any prior knowledge of this particular story, Noel, what you've gleaned from the songs over the course of this play through the conversation. The smith was in the beginning this, well-liked but kind of arrogant craftsman. He sought to capture the power of a god in his magnum opus, and in so doing, he brought ruin to his home, and so he was exiled to the frozen north. From there, he has been tasked by this god figure, and you kind of heard some of it through your conversation with Segan. And as he kind of paused the conversation to hear it, he was tasked with a series of trials that he would need to perform in order to redeem himself in the eyes of this god, whom he has crossed with his arrogance. And he is now in the process of building a road, more of a bridge, really. But he is building a road across the North Pole, connecting two distant cities from one another, who have been long separated by the onset of these, the recent ice age. So he's now laboring away and encountering all these figures, and the play continues onwards. He performs a few other trials. There's a charlatan that he casts down. There is this sort of utopian society that he sort of exposes as having been built on a lie. largely to the detriment of the residents there. And the story concludes with him slaying the first of 3 dragons that he has been tasked with killing by this god. And this is where the intermission hits. Is he lands the death blow on the dragon. There's this bombastic gong sound as the lightning flashes again on the stage, and the curtain falls, and everyone's like, "Ah, yeah!" And this cheer goes up, and the lights come back on, and everyone sort of disperses back into the lobby to kind of refill their drinks and grab some snacks and stuff. Okay.
This is terrible.
What a terrible story.
I'm just kidding.
The Elvish is beautiful. So, Chani, are you back? Because you are muted and uncameraed.
Wait, camera not?
Your camera's off.
Oh,
No,
for me
it's
it's on.
I can see her.
Oh, you can see
Working
it?
for me.
Okay.
Oh, yo, what the fuck? Oh, okay, weird. It was
now
disabled
it's
for me,
off.
but
Now it's on.
Okay.
There we go.
I just restarted it.
Okay, cool. You're back. So you wanted to talk to Segan. What do you want to talk about during the remainder of this first half?
Yeah, she's just kind of like very low key, like flirting.
Okay.
Very low key. She's being very casual about it. She's not going in ham in the paint. Just kind of laughing at things he says, asking like a few questions and stuff. Nothing serious.
Nothing serious.
Mm-mm.
I will say, I think Segan he's definitely very caught up by the show. So he's definitely like his attention is split. And I will say, despite the subtle signs of flirtation you may be putting out there, he does not seem to be biting or reciprocating anyway. He's still very polite and cordial and pleasant conversationalist, but he's very reserved. He's not biting so much.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. You don't want to push it any further?
Fuck it, why not? Lauren's here for a good time.
How do you want to push things? What is your angle? What's your play?
I don't fucking know. No.
Push too hard.
Lean
I
back
just leave the fish one
She's like,
behind.
well, it's not working.
Wish I had advice for
She
you.
like leans back. What?
I wish I had advice for you.
Damn it.
I'm also enraptured by this terrible, terrible story that's unfolding before. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
He's not fighting during the play. I probably won't say anything until like the intermission or anything. Like I'll probably, if he's not biting like the first few times, I'll kind of watch and make small comments, ask him questions because I have no fucking idea what's happening. Can't understand anything. That's what I'll do. I'll ask him. I'll be like, I actually do not speak Elvish. I am learning, so I barely know any of these words. What is happening?
So Segan will probably do exactly what Noel's doing to you, and he will just start to casually explain, the dynamics of each scene, like what's unfolding, what's happening here. He'll catch you up on the lore. The smith made a weapon of great power with the power of a god, but it brought ruin, so on and so forth.
Got it.
And now he's been tasked with trials, and he's performing the trials, and doing all this stuff.
And I'll just like ask him questions about like what his favorite parts are, just like very casual questions to get to know him better.
Well, I think you'll probably
that'll
get
be my
the sense he's very detail oriented, and he does seem to have a decent appreciation for the arts. He can name a number of figures in the orchestra, including first violinist Garfer Littlefound, of whom he protests to be a pretty big fan. His solos in a few segments in between the trials are very, very moving. He says to you, and then he talks about how the lead tenor here is been really excellent for me. He's young, he's new, he's got a lot of potential. I can definitely see him going places in the opera world. And just he just kind of starts going off about the opera.
Lauren's enraptured with what he is saying.
Is she really, or is she playing enraptured?
Honestly, I think she might be mildly interested, because it's not like she doesn't have an appreciation for like music and stuff and operas, but it's also not like her biggest thing, but she's interested. So maybe not like, but not like super crazy like fangirl type of shit. Just kind of like, oh, cool.
I like the idea that she's not enraptured by like the music part of it, but she's enraptured by like the history of the people, or like the people involved.
Like the actors and stuff.
Yeah, I feel
like it's still an interest. It's just a different kind of interest.
Yeah, I can see that. Excuse me. Yeah, Segan will answer any questions you got about the production. He honestly seems more at ease talking about the opera than he was, about any personal stuff you may have mentioned earlier or tried to talk about earlier, if that came up. But yeah, he's more than happy to share what he knows, and he'd appreciate it greatly. And once intermission falls, he will stand up and say, "Well."
Wait, before he does that, I'm gonna, because I was gonna stand up and walk away. So before he does that, she'll place like a hand on his shoulder, just very lightly, and is like, "Well, thank you so much for that, and hopefully, I wasn't too much of a bother."
Of course not. Well, does your party intend to see the remainder of the production, or do you have somewhere to be?
I mean, I would like to. It's very fascinating. Yeah.
We got box seats.
Then I will see you after the intermission. And he is going to excuse himself and head out. And you can hear his security kind of gathering around him out in the hallway as they make their way. A little ways down the hall before you hear a door open and then close. And then, yeah, just the opera hall is dispersing. So you guys go enjoy your intermission, get drinks, whatever you need. Come back. Anything anybody wants to do during intermission?
Maybe we're supposed to have a conversation.
Yeah, we were going to talk about what we just
and have a
discussed.
conversation. She'll get a conversation. Well, she'll get a drink and then have the conversation. She'll like run off real quick. You'll be like, "Where did she go?" And then boom, she's back with alcohol.
Ah.
Hi guys.
Oh, there she is.
Please tell me you didn't go get more fire whiskey.
No, she's gonna be a bit more classier, and we haven't been assassinated yet, so Lauren's a little bit more.
It's true. There's an entire second act though.
I hate to dispute that, Lauren, but technically we're not high enough in position to be assassinated. We would just be murdered.
That's a great point,
fair.
Burberry.
We haven't been murdered yet, but I'm just gonna keep the edge going. I'm gonna keep this level because I'm feeling great right now.
Fair enough. Should we go on break real quick? An actual intermission before we proceed?
It is 10.
Oh yeah, it is 10 for you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can take our break here.
All right, quick break.
So yeah, be back in 10.
Okay. We're back.
Okay.
Just in time.
The DM's talking about how Burberry's hung like a horse.
And now we're fucking demonetized.
Wait, we were monetized?
There's no cash
Yeah.
flowing, I promise. Okay, so what is the plan? Are we just having a
So
conversation
you guys,
now?
it is intermission. Yeah, you guys can go find yourselves a little
Corner.
cocktail table, and sit down and talk things out.
Okay. Well, I apologize for springing that idea on you guys, but I just kind of thought of it, and it seemed interesting to me.
Oh, that's a great idea. Honestly.
I mean,
down for
of the
it.
two people that it's a toss up, right? Because between the two people being mad at me, I prefer the one that can't attack me with extreme precision.
True. I would love to distance us from Pythe, but Segan is asking a lot
I
of
don't
us
think that's a
on
good
blind
option.
faith.
I mean, at least he
And-
offered us a discount.
Honestly, we're
For-
also doing. Sorry.
Oh,
Continue, Burberry.
it's fine. This is taking me a second anyway. For doing him a favor.
Well, I think the big thing for me is like, Segan's getting the most out of this deal because he's going to get a favor from us, and he actually has leverage over Pipe now as well in this dealing.
Not so much leverage as a fun thing he can throw out later whenever there's a squabble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but whenever I think I have dirt on someone, which I never have before, but in theory, if I thought I had dirt on someone, it would throw me completely for a loop if I found out something that I didn't.
Oh, we should also add to the terms that if Hythe decides to like instantly try to blackmail Segan, he should leave our names out of it.
I was gonna say, like, whatever information he had, or whatever fake information he gives Pythe, it needs to make sure that doesn't pay off in the time that we're here.
Yeah. I think that's really important because he could just fuck us over in the process.
Yeah, I think he's probably smart enough to know that that's a factor.
But I think we should clarify.
Yeah, you're right.
Just to be safe, because he is a pirate lord, so.
Yeah, this is interesting because, like, we are kind of just doing a favor for Segan for free.
In return for the thing that he's supposed to
we're
give
not
us.
really, like, getting much from Segan. We're not getting anything from Segan, are we?
Oh, yes, from Segan.
He's just sort of using us in this circumstance.
I believe that he views his favor to us is letting us pretend to break into his house.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's more just like, I'm not going to fucking murder all of you. That's my favor.
That favor.
Which isn't terrible since he knew we were going to break into his house.
He probably could have.
Now he knows what we look like. Yeah, he could have.
That being
He
said,
didn't know what we looked like, though.
He didn't know what we looked like?
No, he didn't know what we looked like.
Oh, right.
Whenever
I was like...
Yeah.
I am a little hesitant to agree to, like, further favors, because that's going to make things very complicated. I don't know if we can get out of that at this point, but, like, if we're like, okay, let's go give this information to Pythe, and Pythe's like, okay, I'll take you to Renzal, and we go do that, and then Segan calls in his favor, then it's like, well, shit. Now we're torn between two important things, and one of them takes us off the island, specifically Renzal.
Well,
I think we should... I was going to say we should clarify that the favor should be of equal value. Because he's not really putting himself out there to give us the documents and stuff. So it shouldn't be like a massive favor. Like, oh, I want you to kill Randall while you're there. Like, or some shit like that. Be like, it's like, you're gaining the most out of this. You basically get a free favor from us. You give us documents that in the future will prove to not really matter and give you a
leg up
hand on Pythe
Pythe,
whenever
yeah.
Yeah, and you get a favor, so I don't think our favor should be like, our favor should be of equal value.
We could also make a list of stuff that we will not do.
Like what?
Murder.
I will not add mayonnaise to my gumbo.
Sure.
Oh, that's the first one.
Then the deal is off, Mr. Shrimp.
He pulls out a gun.
Things like
I will not. You might as well fire, because I ain't gonna.
My dear Mr. Shrimp, I fired 20 minutes ago.
It's a slow as
I
bullet.
fired before we even had this conversation.
Okay, other question
I'm surprised
is,
you're still breathing.
how do we pitch
Joke's
this?
on you. I'm just a dream.
Oh shit, the ultimate one up. How do we pitch this to Pythe is the other problem, because he's pretty convinced that this heist thing isn't going to work anymore. It seems like. So how did we get information that it would, and how do we pitch that as like, we're going to go do this now to take care of it? Because I'm not sure.
I think he enjoys crazy, so I think if we pulled it off, he would have mad respect for us.
I think you're right.
If there's one thing I learned about this man, is that if we were able to go to the thing after he already knew we were planning it, pull it off, grab information, he's going to be like swooning by the time we get back.
As long as we do kind of confirm it with his spies, then, or like if his spies are convinced that we actually did do that, then yeah, that could be enough credibility that he would just think we were a bunch of crazy assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, we are kind of crazy. We did save a town from Mycelia. Before I left the church, I never would have thought that sentence would come out of my mouth.
Evil Mycelia at that.
Oh, and one of us is thoroughly convinced that this is a dream.
I mean, Barnaby just gestures.
You seeing this shit?
I would slap you, but that would hurt.
It could wake him up.
And you might wake him up.
And then you might not exist, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with hedging my odds on that one.
I mean, suit yourself.
I'll join you, Burberry.
It can't be any worse than having an angry god.
Does that mean Burberry is, or sorry, does that mean Barnaby is responsible for Coron?
Ooh.
Dick move, Barnaby.
Ooh, smack him, Burberry. Smack him. Make Coron go away.
You just try and control your dreams, huh?
It would you can, it's called lucid dreaming.
You really think I would have known that?
I mean, you did, because if this is a dream and I just told you that information, you must have known that ahead of time.
How do I know that's not just dream talk?
This is your subconscious speaking. Ooh.
The intermission ends as we debate about
Everything we say, you knew, Barnaby.
Yeah.
That's in the
You knew we'd
subconscious.
say it
Nice
before we
try.
said it.
Definitions of words are not in subconscious.
No, I'm talking about what y'all say. That's in subconscious.
Who are we in your subconscious? Am
We
I
return
like
to the box
in
seats.
a cousin or some shit?
Okay.
Oh, and to answer a previous question, the list of things that we wouldn't do would be things like steal objects from other pirate holds or
Oh, I see.
Yes. Please put that on there. We don't want to do that.
I feel like the list would be
Like a
very
very-
long.
well, and I do like Aloran's like it has to be of equal value to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh no, well, I'm sitting next to Segan, so
Yeah, Noelle like walks up to where she was normally gonna sit, stops, and then she takes the next seat down.
Yeah. So, returning to the box seats.
you sis. Do you like?
Yeah, Segan will welcome you all back, gesture to the seats. It's like, so, have you had some time to discuss your terms?
I think so.
Yes.
So, what are we thinking?
Who wants to start?
I'm gonna let the people who have charisma in this party go because I'm not that.
Okay. All right, blunderbuss twin.
Well, Lauren has some specific concerns, so you can start.
What are my specific concerns? I'm sorry, my COVID.
I've been drinking.
It seemed like your whole thing was like, we are really just doing this guy a lot of favors right now, so we shouldn't over leverage that necessarily.
Okay. So we are amenable to this arrangement, but we have certain conditions. In all honesty, you're in the win-win for all.
I do try to cover my bases.
Yeah, because you a lot out of this.
I don't get robbed for one.
Yeah. So I think the favor should be of equal value to the favor you're doing us.
Especially because we're not actually robbing you.
Yeah, and we're not.
That's true.
So.
And I'm not actually retaliating against you for considering such. So.
To be fair, it was not a very fun prospect to begin with. It was the only option we had at the time. So
I am offering you an alternative.
What are we supposed to do? Yeah, and as I said, we are amenable to that. But we do have a few things that we don't want to do. For one, stealing from another pirate lord. We would like to avoid that in the future.
Pretending to steal from one is more than enough.
Yeah, that's enough. And I think murdering. We prefer to not kill people. Anybody else got stuff they don't want to do besides the mayo and the gumbo, Barnaby?
You ain't getting me to do it.
I'm sorry, what?
It was a whole conversation.
I will not put
sure.
mayo in my gumbo. You ain't gonna get me to do it.
Lauren's just gonna be kind of like chuckling.
That is a sin.
She is chuckling right now. She's like, oh god.
Segan is just staring bewildered at this armored figure in the seat behind him. Well, Mr. Shrimp, given that is the line, I will assure you that I shall not cross it. You have my word. So
good.
Oh, and nothing against the church, if you don't mind. Not that the church has much of a presence here anyway, but still.
Sadly, they do not. I do not have much business with the church these days, so you may rest assured I will not have you doing any untoward acts towards the church.
Good, because I'm mildly attached for some reason.
I can't.
You sound mildly sarcastic.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine why.
Noelle, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Sort of tangentially related, but important thing we need to clarify about the fake information you're going to give Pythe is that has to be, a slow burn. It can't be something that's going to immediately turn around and bite us in the ass, because obviously then everything is broken.
And then we're going to be hunted down by Python. I'd prefer to avoid that.
So, no fake documents implicating you in any of my schemes that could blow up in your face as soon as you hand that to Pythe. We can certainly make sure.
Something that you might plan on doing in, say, like 2 weeks?
Yeah,
a month?
A little bit out,
Something out away.
Give us a buffer.
Some distance away. Yeah. So he doesn't instantly be like, oh, see, look what I got. and then they're like,
or if you do give us
Really?
something that can turn on us immediately, be prepared to act like it's affecting you for at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Excuse
like
me.
it's the end of the world or some shit.
I imagine I can probably put together some material that would meet these specifications. I expect he will likely try to leverage whatever he has as soon as he is able, but I can certainly stall long enough for you to conclude whatever business you have here with Ranzal, and then leave.
The other element of this that's important is we are not necessarily working on a deadline, but this mission of ours comes to an end when we get to Renzal. We leave the island after that. So whatever you need us to do needs to happen before then.
Well, I imagine as soon as you turn over your material to... What was that?
They knock over a laundry basket.
Oh, okay. I imagine whatever it is you will inevitably hand over to Mr. Pythe will immediately translate into travel to meet with Mr. Bloodbeard. So I would expect your first free moment will likely be after you finish your business with Ranzal.
There is no free moment after we finish our business with Renzal.
Nope.
That is the end of our trip.
Then you'll need to take care of it before you hand over your material to Mr. Pythe. Because that seems to be the only likely opening.
Or before we pretend to break into your house.
Yeah.
We could take care of it in, I don't know how long it's going to take, but in this window where we're pretending to break into your house.
Potentially. As I said, I imagined that I could leave my instructions for you at the manor, where you could procure them without any way of Pythe seeing them or learning about them.
True. Well, okay, so wait. You want us to go to your house physically and go get the instructions?
You are staging a break-in, after all. Yes? You will need to be there physically.
Because we need to be there because if Pythe has spies at the manor, there has to be somebody there that can say that something happened.
Well, that's the thing
at
is
night
like,
and someone broke into the manor.
If you could, I guess if we don't know who the spies are, but like we could technically, like, someone who's there could fake a break-in on our behalf. Like, we don't actually have to necessarily literally break into the house. But then it's like, well, if the person that we recruit to do that is actually the spy, then blah, 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 blah. But, you know.
I mean, I would be entrusting people at my manor to prepare these documents for me in my absence, since you would be heading that direction to take care of this business, wouldn't you?
It would also bring you extra security because you probably trust as much. You were planning on stealing from your man, anyways. So if you had someone stage a break-in, you don't have to worry about us sniffing around. Which I'm not saying we're going to do. I'm just saying for peace of mind.
We just assume that everybody trusts everybody else about as far as they can throw them. And since most people here aren't John, they probably can't throw them that far.
So you're suggesting then that I simply hand you some documents here in Bettingwich, and then you go off to take care of whatever business I need taken care of.
That's an option.
And then we can be going around
off of your property.
Yep.
The trouble I have here is handing these to you here means you could quickly and easily make your hand off to Pythe and then set off for Ranzal without ever addressing my business whatsoever.
Okay.
Did we mean here right now? I thought we just meant in the city. Because it doesn't
Yeah,
need
we
to
don't
be
need them
today.
now.
Because you said you're here for a few days, yes?
I am here principally because I wanted to talk to the lot of you.
Oh,
That's flattering.
well. Thank you. She like her fins.
So if you would like, is this opera showing again?
Or another one that you like.
They, I believe, are performing one last showing tomorrow.
Or another show you might like. If you would like, we can meet you there once we've completed your task to receive the documents.
The business that I have in mind here is delicate, but I suppose you could feasibly complete it in the same time frame as as it would take to reach Cray's Hall and back. How's this then? We reached this agreement. Yes, I tell you what it is that I want of you. You go off to take care of it. On your return, I will reveal to you, as you can easily reach me now, you've proven, where I have left your documents as a dead drop. We need not have any further business beyond that last exchange in person. This exchange, really, in person. You do what I need of you. I get confirmation that it has been completed. And then you get your documents.
That would also work. Burberry doesn't sound put out because he was looking forward to doing something else. Nope.
Well, nothing's changing, except that we're just not going to actually go to the house.
Oh no, I meant going to another show.
Oh, I see. Burberry, there are better shows than this one, I promise.
It's
you have
okay.
a very,
Can't see his
very
face.
low
Can't see his
opinion of the Ambition Assembly. I feel they put in a good deal of work with this performance.
I mean,
I've been enjoying
the
it.
singers themselves are beautiful. I just take issue with the writing and the story here.
And I suppose it is a bit saccharine for some. There are numerous versions of this story out there, after all. I suppose if you are more partial to older editions, I can't fault you there. At any rate, how do we feel about the state of things thus far?
I feel like we're kind of amicable, but
I am not in love with the. This is out of character. I'm not in love with the dead drop thing. Because he could totally just
it does
be like, yeah, I'll give you the documents, and then we just get there's nothing there. We get judged. This is where we get murdered.
I mean,
I don't like that.
I do trust him a lot more than I do a lot of other people.
We should probably insight check it at some point in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, can I insight? Yeah, I'll insight check. I'll insight check that dead point thing, I guess.
Sure, yeah, well, the dead drop.
What was that, Burberry?
Would you like me to cast Zone of Truth again?
I think he would. No.
Just long enough to ask if that is his.
You're saying you want to pitch it to, like, can we cast Zone of Truth?
Ask politely. It's very rude to cast spells on pirate lords without asking.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be good.
Most would
I
take
think
a
it's
feat,
just
yes.
rude to cast spells on people in general without asking.
Maybe it
Um,
depends on the spell.
Mr. Segan, do you prefer just Segan?
Mr. Segan is fine.
Would you be amicable? I have a spell called Zone of Truth that just makes the people in the bubble tell the truth. Would you be amicable to being put under that for like 5 seconds just to be 100% sure on our part? Because it is a pretty big risk on our end.
He'll glance over his shoulder at John and Barnaby, and he will say, if the two large fellows are willing to step into the hall with my men, I would be willing to consider it.
You want John and Barnaby to leave for the spell?
What?
I don't think you trust them because they're big people. And we're tiny, innocent creatures.
I'm not small. I'm normal height, guys.
But you're
Yeah,
shorter than
you're-
him.
I think we're probably shorter than Segan. We're just like
How tall is
tiny little
Segan?
people. Okay,
Noel's
Lauren's a
5'7",
tiny little
all right?
person.
Segan's like 6 foot.
Okay.
Okay,
Relatively,
Lauren's
we are
5
small
foot, so
So
this
we are
man just like
technically shorter than him.
towers.
Technically shorter.
So as I said, we're small, innocent babies compared to the two.
He is asking for the two big boys to step into the hallway with his security while the spell is cast.
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm not a fan of that magic.
Whatever.
Are you scared we're going to tell you you're not in a dream?
No, I know there's people trying to convince me that I'm not in a dream.
But that would literally tell you we're not lying. And
Or how do
exactly
I
what the
know
dream
that's just
wants me to
how my
think.
dream would interpret it?
Unless Barnaby's dream wants him to be sure that he's not actually dreaming. Who knows?
It's so twisty.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, Zone of Truth.
John and Barney will step outside, and as they do, he will call out, Brutus, if you would please join us. And the big bald guy who patted down Barnaby will step inside, saying, "Yeah, just observe for a moment, please." And he'll turn to you, Burberry.
So Burberry will pull out a spell book and he'll actually show him the spell book that says Zone of Truth at the top of the spell before reading it off.
All right, cool. So, wisdom save or charisma saves, right?
Yeah, if you can choose to fail it though.
Hey, I passed. 23.
Oh.
Or 22.
Right.
And I will choose to fail it because I am polite like that.
He has no
I
way of
think
knowing that.
I failed, so. Lauren is telling the truth. Lauren does not speak. Oh, see, their hearts fall thing.
And that's the truth.
Lauren, who is hotter, Gerald or Adlar?
Ooh.
She's not responding.
She just sits in the silence.
So
She's just like.
So did Segan also choose to fail, or did he succeed in a save or something?
you will sense that Burberry that Segan did fail,
Okay. So
as did Brutus.
So Brutus. So this is legitimate. There's no like plan to backstab. You are going to use the dead drop once we finish our quest for you.
If you perform your side of the bargain as agreed, I will do the same.
All right, and we will do our best to complete your task, unless it gets us all killed, in which case we probably won't care.
No death, please.
Also true.
All right, I'll drop the spell.
Okay.
And
Thank
I
you,
did
Brutus.
say about
You can
5
send the others back in. Brutus will step out and usher to Barnaby and John that they can rejoin the party.
spells that I didn't think
I
that I'd be using
appreciate
this
your
Candor.
forthrightness with this. This is not the first time I've had spells cast in negotiations. It is one of the few times that it has not been in ugly ruse. So thank you.
Usually it is fair to be upfront about this kind of thing, especially when that sort of spell is involved, because either they don't know it's happening, then they realize it's happening, then they get incredibly pissed off at you, or it just doesn't work in the first place. So
And most times it's not even the spell that they're saying they're casting, so it is a dangerous business. So thank you, as I said. So
And that's when he's like,
are-
"Oh, this group is okay."
you are comfortable with my proposal then?
Yes.
it is amenable to us.
I think
Okay.
so.
Then I can have those documents prepared, and once they are ready, I can leave them with a trusted associate, and they will see to the dead drop at my signal. In the meantime, he is going to kind of glance back over at the opera, which at this point has sort of begun the final act. There is now this figure in the song. Noel, you would be able to hear this temptress looming large over the coming finale. And the smith has been tasked by his god to strike her down. So he is currently kind of hyping himself up in this song for that confrontation. Segan is kind of watching this, and he lets it go for a few minutes. He just kind of listens before he finally turns back to the party. I need you to retrieve somebody from Razorbrick. Are you familiar with the facility?
Absolutely not.
We've heard the name, actually.
Not being familiar, not retrieving anybody.
Absolutely. We won't do it. We've heard the name, and it's the big prison on this island, right? Is that correct?
Correct.
Oof. Okay.
I'll just add another tally to jailbreak count.
We should have put kidnapping on our list.
What was that?
No, never mind. Okay, well, so you want us to get into...
Say it, no.
I said we should have put kidnapping on our list of do not do, but
Oh.
too late now.
Freeing a man from prison is hardly kidnapping.
One of his guys.
Okay, so since we are discussing this and it seems like we're doing this, what else can you tell us?
Their name is Derek Lugo. They have been a prisoner on this island for about 8 months. They are important to certain relationships that I have. And if I can deliver Mr. Lugo safely back home, it would go a long way to mending certain fences that have been broken.
Who is Eric Lou?
He's a prisoner in Razorbrick.
And he's not like a cartel member or anything weird, right?
Oh, this is probably the place to ask about the white goat.
Don't ask him. Don't ask him. There's a reason I phrased the question like that. Don't ask him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. But as soon as you said that, I was like, that's actually a good point. Yeah, we should do that.
So what was the question again, Kat?
So he's not involved in anything weird like the cartel, right?
The less you know about Mr. Lugo, the better. I would like to be reassuring. However, given the particulars of his imprisonment, I think it is best if we simply keep this on a need-to-know basis. If you can get him out, get him back to Beddingwich, contact me as you approach the city, and I can get you in touch with a safe house. Once I've confirmed his safety, I will have the dead drop set up, and you can retrieve your documents.
How far is Razorbrig from here?
Razorbrig. Little more than a day.
Okay.
We should have spent a day in the woods.
I mean, we might get to just hanging out outside Razorbrig.
No, I know. I meant this one, so that way we could just go straight from Razorbrig to there.
Oh. Well, but then we might lose like a fucking week. Let's see. It is okay. So you want to answer questions about Derek's history or past, but could you tell us, is he imprisoned justifiably, or is he falsely imprisoned? Is that why you want to get him out?
He is imprisoned politically.
Gotcha.
Justifiable or not, the man is in prison because people want him there.
What does security his imprisonment? Would he be like max security, or is he kind of just there?
Lugo should not be terribly deep within the facility. As far as security measures go, I can tell you that there will be patrols in the forest immediately surrounding Razorbrig. Small groups of guards, guard dogs. There are watchtowers along the perimeter. There are maximum security cells deeper underground, but Mr. Lugo should be relatively close to the surface. If I recall correctly, he should still be in B-Wing.
Do you believe the security at Razorbrig would be more or less intense than, say, the security at the home of one of the pirate kings?
He looks very pointedly at you after you ask this.
I'm sorry.
I think she means more because of the spirit of the thing and not because of your house specifically.
We've already made our agreements.
Lauren's just like trying not to laugh
And we
right
did
now.
say that we were going to do it to the best of our ability, and I intend to keep that.
Yes.
Considering the level of alarm at my home currently, you probably might have an easier time breaking into Razorbrig.
Kind of figured.
That was my assumption.
Yeah.
I can say there is less magic in that facility than at my home, outside of the maximum security cells on the lowest levels.
Right. Which we don't need to worry about. Hopefully.
Shouldn't need to. So, I would advise get out there, case the facility, make your move under cover of dark, and then get the fuck back to Benningwich.
How subtle are you expecting this break out to be?
I am not terribly particular how subtle you are. That is.
So it doesn't matter if we are running from a string of guards and we get him back. As long as he gets back here, you don't give a shit.
As long as you get him to a safe house without issue. If they find him and they put him back in jail, then yes, we're going to have a problem.
Well,
but if you can...
I think we'll probably stay with him until you can confirm his safety.
Then you'll have every reason to ensure that you reach the safe house without any tails.
Okay.
Okay. I got stuff for that.
So where's the safe house you're talking about? Are you is just here?
He's not going to tell us until we have him
I
and we're on our way
have-
back to the city.
I have plenty in Beddingwich. Once you have him, I can supply you with that address.
Gotcha. I was more just thinking, like, is there one on the
Remember,
way
this is
to the... But yeah, gotcha. Okay. How often are prisoners moved in and out of this place? Like, obviously there's not a lot of prisons to transfer them between, but like, how often are people brought there? Like, are they held here and then they go there after a few days, or are there jails?
Typically, if one is bound for Razorbrig, they are brought directly to Razorbrig once they hit land. It is a facility that is used by the lords to house prisoners of note. So, valuable ransoms, the families of rivals, dangerous but useful adversaries. These sorts of people. One generally does not go from the local jails here in Beddingwich to Razorbrig unless you are very bad at whatever clandestine job you've been assigned and got caught. Generally, in my experience, folk will use wagons or horses. It is not a formal sort of affair. As I said, this is a prison shared by the pirate lord. So there is room for deception, I think.
Another
should you
question
decide to go that route.
Does anyone ever leave Razorbrig, or is it always a life sentence?
Ransoms almost always get their chance to leave once their families or courts have paid up.
So people can leave Razorbrig.
Yes. I suppose by process of elimination, that probably tells you Lugo is not there for ransom. He is useful.
Okay, out of character real quick. My brain just went, was it another pirate lord that put him in there because this is a pirate lord prison? Because we just said we're not stealing from another pirate.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Did another pirate lord put him in there?
The way I was tempted to bring this up, but like, it seems like if these people are like these people did pirate lords wrong, generally, it seems like that's going to be why you go to Razorbrig. And if that's true, then the pirate lords must have some kind of agreement to not pilfer them from each other. Like, because these people could have actually useful information for pirate lords against other pirate lords if they are betraying one another. So this is an interesting little place.
I don't feel like this is an equal value trade.
No, this is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, this is definitely not an equal value trade.
Little did you know, it's because Pauletus is like, oh, trying to avoid my complicated thing, are you? But let's just change the nature of the complicated thing.
It's not a house anymore, it's a prison.
And it's not a document anymore, it's a person.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to know for sure? Segan.
Anything else? Oh, you're asking me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Also, do you have like a drawing or something of what he looks like? We want to make sure we get the right one.
Yes. I suppose a description would be in order. That is a good point. Mr. Lugo is a human man. Dark-skinned. Can't speak to the state of his hair or his shave at the moment. I'm sure it's unkempt. As I recall, he has a distinctive tattoo on his left arm. Depicts a star. No, it's a sun and an anchor. With a little banner underneath. I don't remember what it says.
All right.
Do you know what color his hair or eyes are?
Black and brown.
Okay.
So, if how about this? If we do get to Mr. Lugo, and we have an opportunity to get him out, would it be wise for us to tell him that we're getting him out on your behalf, or would that be something that you would want concealed?
I would not tell anyone else that you are there on my behalf.
Nope, that would be dumb.
Yeah, that'd be real dumb.
But Mr. Lugo specifically.
So just we can say it to Derek. Lugo, Mr. Lugo.
Mr. Lugo would be grateful for that assistance, yes.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I can't think of any other questions off the top of my head.
Well, do we have an accord? Sorry. That was a pirate.
Is there a time frame crunch on this one? Because we might need some days to not recognizance. What's the word I'm looking for?
Reconnaissance.
Investigate?
It is recognizance.
I think it's
That's
reconnaissance.
It is reconnaissance, yeah.
a reconnaissance without the G. Yes, we might need a little time for that.
I think our only time limit is just how
Big
quickly what Pi thinks we're going to be doing.
It's true.
I mean, we can just convince him that we're not going to from him still. And when we come back, it's like, there's a ton of security. It took way longer than we thought, but we got it.
True.
Also, I thought we weren't telling them that we're doing this. Like, oh yes, we did it without because we thought it was going to fail, and we were all being. What? How did you put it?
We could. I would be worried. I mean, it's not a terrible idea, but also I'd be worried that it would be really random. Like, we show up and we're like, "Hey, we did this thing without you knowing and without any indication that we were going to." I don't know. I'd be suspicious if I were him. He seems paranoid enough.
I think at this point, Brutus steps back in to the box, and he just kind of leans over Segan's seat and whispers something into his ear. Yes, all right. And then steps back out. Apologies. What were you saying?
I think we're just kind of deliberating right now on what to do.
Can I roll perception to see if I heard the thingy?
Yeah, sure.
I will also accept insight for possible murder.
I'm sitting next to him, so I will also see if I heard what he said.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go! I just rolled 18 and like a 9 perception.
This
secrets, DM.
Yeah, so I'll let her do that.
27. Tell me your secrets.
Yeah, with the 27, you hear Brutus pretty quietly whispering. There is a sizable crew of goblins tearing up the pier on our side of town, sir. How would you like to proceed? And Segun just kind of says, I'll deal with it. Thank you. And then Brutus leaves.
And then Segan rips off his shirt and goes and kills all the goblins.
Yep.
I'll deal with it. All right.
So, you were saying?
I think we are out of questions for you at this point. We need to get to Razorbrig. We need to evacuate Mr. Lugo. We need to get him back here. And when we do, we go to a safe house. We retrieve our documents. And we part ways forever.
As unlikely acquaintances.
It is the best way to do business in this line of business. If we're in agreement, then I think we have an accord. He will extend a hand to shake. He said the thing!
He said the thing! I'm shaking the hand! And I'll be like, we have an accord. Real serious. Lauren's fucking jazzed.
I did a pirate thing.
I did pirate
We're
shit.
such good pirates.
She's gonna tell Daryl about it today. It's like, I made an accord today, Daryl. I'm a true pirate
We
now.
parlayed.
You did parlay, didn't you?
Like, we did.
So, having reached this accord, Segan will say, excellent. Now, it has recently been brought to my attention that I actually have a spot of trouble down at my peers. Would you be interested in earning a little bit of coin in addition to this arrangement we've made?
Are you going to be there as well, or will it just be us?
I have a show to finish.
Don't we need to, like, go? Like, this is a timetable we're on.
We are on a timetable. Oh.
Yeah. I think I'd like to finish the show and then just go fucking think about our decisions
As much
of
as we
coming to
like
this
money,
island.
we have a lot to think and talk about. And if
Fair
we're going to do
Yeah.
this, we're going to need to do it soon.
Then Brutus, and he'll call Brutus back in, and he'll lean down, and you'll just hear him very plainly say, get the boys from 7th Street to take care of it, would you? And Brutus will just nod and head out. Well, we are nearing the conclusion of our performance here. Shall we? And he just kind of settles back into his chair and continues to watch as the big confrontation begins to play out between the smith, the wretch, and the priest. His traveling companions who have survived thus far are now squaring off against this temptress, this dark sorceress. And Noelle, you would hear that she, in her verses, is offering the smith a chance to turn back time, step back into the life he once had before he created his godly weapon. And the smith, in his verses, is torn between this opportunity and all the trials that he has overcome so far. Should he stumble now, so close to the end? Should he give up everything that he has learned and strived for to go back and undo it all? And before he is able to commit to a decision, you can see the hand very dramatically shaking, reaching for the blade at his hip. You see the wretch spring up from the side, tackle the temptress, and tumble backwards into this cauldron on the stage. And as she does, you see all of these theatrical sort of fireworks beginning to pop off the stage. You see these bright flames sort of rising up with the lights, you know, these like the fans and the ribbons creating the fake fire. And the curtain falls as thunder strikes again. There's a round of applause, and when the curtains rise once more, you see the smith alone on the stage. That silver gossamer curtain, the only thing on the stage behind him. And he is now garbed all in white in this gown, no longer in the traveling clothes he's worn so far throughout the production. And as he sings of his time adrift in the astral sea, dead, no longer able to act or to redeem himself. And in the final verses, you watch as that giant godhead descends again from out of sight, you see this god singing again, as it did early in the play, and welcoming the smith into his realm, into the afterlife. And as the lights on the stage dim, lights behind the curtain begin to turn on, and you can see the projected shadows of this family, this woman and 2 children, shining against the silver gossamer. And as the curtains begin to part, symbolizing the opening of the realm, the main curtain begins to fall, and the house erupts into thunderous applause as the opera reaches its conclusion. There's, calls for encore. You see the curtains rise. You see the cast come out, all taking their bows. You see the conductor and the orchestra all standing, taking their ovations. And Segan continues his polite clap as he goes, and he turns to you, Noel, after your earlier comment, and he says, "Well, I'm sorry if it is too saccharine for you, but I, for one, found it quite compelling. I feel they did a marvelous job."
And there was no foreshadowing to any of the things that happened in the end of it. It was all just kind of like it feels like it was made up on the spot.
Tale. It's a story of trial and tribulation, of one man against the world. What's not to like?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's up? Fun.
Wait, are you guys done? If you're not done,
No, you can go. I didn't know anything specific to say to that.
They throw a couple little barbs at each other at the end.
Got it. I was gonna say I was doing the same thing that I did last, and I'll try to go one more flirt with Mr. Segan. I'm gonna try.
Okay, what are you doing this time?
Oh fuck! Oh, sorry. I forgot the chair leaned back and scared the shit out of me. I usually have it locked, so that was spooky. That's a great question.
What is your strategy?
Strategies.
He really likes
Maybe
to play.
talk about he plays art, and there's different forms of art involving 2 people.
Are you propositioning me, Miss Opal?
That was bold.
Yes.
Hey, you like art? Do you want to have sex with me?
She's trying to say it more classy. I don't have a classy brain, as you all know, but I think Lauren has more class than.
Didn't we just finish telling him that we didn't have time to go kill a lot of goblins?
It wouldn't take
You
that
guys
long.
can talk. Lauren can have some fun.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Please roll that
I
20.
will use inspiration on this girl. Oh, I rolled a 19 plus 5.
Suddenly, you're very hot. What did you say again?
I said maybe we should clear the box.
Maybe we should let these 2 have a little space. Just
like
It was almost an natural 20. Oh my god.
Brutus?
Oh no.
You took the words out of my mouth, Pete.
Bring me my fucking clothes.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, he will call Brutus again and just let him know. Continue to watch the hallway, please. And he will bid the rest of you best of luck on your task here.
Thank you so much. Have fun,
We'll
Lauren.
be in the lobby when you're done.
Just go home.
I'll just as we're leaving, I'm just gonna say out to Lauren, I would not yell as much in here. It is going to echo.
Does Pyth hear that? No, does Segan hear that? Sorry. Oh my god.
And as Burberry and Laura, or as Burberry and Nora walk off, Burberry just goes,
So he really didn't learn any lessons.
How did that work? He wasn't interested in her at all until like literally the last 2 minutes we were sitting there.
we just talk about contingency issues.
Yeah, Noel, you finish saying that, you turn away to walk away, and Aloran, you look over and just see Segan cock an eyebrow. He definitely heard it. So, go ahead and give me a performance roll.
Would you like a silence as a party gift?
No. I'm using my inspiration. That was like a nat 1.
Oh, Johnny.
We have a nat 1. Okay. We got an 18. I don't think there's a performance one, so it's just an 18, right?
You don't have any charisma?
Oh, I have +2.
20. Okay. Segan rolled a 17. So it's a good time.
Good time. Sweet.
As soon as you're finished, Segan will, stand up, immediately begin, reclothing, and be like, well, that was quite fun. Thank you for that. I hope you and your friends, again, best of luck on your task here. Excuse me. And he will, without much more word, just turn and walk out into the hallway as he pulls on his jacket. Just leave you there in the box.
That's fine. Lauren will just head back to the fucking thing.
All right.
The compliment, she didn't even charge him.
That's 50 gold.
Yeah.
I'm a hooker.
I'll send you the invoice.
So yeah, party waiting in the lobby, or are you on your way home first? Instead.
What do you think?
Let's head back to the hotel.
Okay.
We don't know how long that took.
Probably like 10, 15 minutes. Not
No,
super
it's not. It's would have lasted that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys could have stayed. Never mind.
Lauren probably catches up to you guys relatively quickly. You can kind of hustle. The path back to the Riviera is not super difficult to find. Like, you guys are pretty close to the water already, so you can basically just like walk back to the Republic Wharf district and just kind of follow the pier all the way down to the Riviera on the other side of town. As you guys are walking, and Lauren eventually will catch up to you guys. She'll kind of see you in the distance and kind of hustle to catch up, pulling your shoes back on. You guys will probably notice down some of the wharfs fairly close to the Opera House, there does seem to be some kind of commotion. You can see a large number of small humanoid figures darting about on the piers, in and out of the buildings there, under the cover of one of the shipyards, where there is a ship under construction. There does seem to be a lot of shouting. There are some lights being waved around. There's a couple of small fires that look like they have been started. And all while shrill voices, clearly the voices of goblins, as you have come to learn in your adventures, all just calling, shouting, cursing, singing, just having a grand old time wrecking that wharf. You can see there are people out there like kind of running down the pier to like engage with them, deal with them, getting into fights. But y'all are headed home, back to the Royal Colonial.
Do I hear the voice of Breadstick guiding them in victory?
Oh, I can't remember any important NPCs, but I can remember Breadstick.
I remember Breadstick.
Give me a perception check.
Oh my god, it's actually
22.
22.
I hope we don't hear Breadstick. This is
Yeah,
a
I
very-
don't want to.
Very large ocean.
Yeah, taking a moment to stop and listen, watch, scrutinizing. It doesn't sound like Breadsticks out there. I mean, goblin might be racist to say goblins have very similar sounding voices, but you don't detect the particular cadence that you recognize as breadsticks or anything like that.
Godspeed, little breadstick.
I will say you do notice with a 22, down one of the piers, there does appear to be looks like 3 goblins that are throwing these bundles into the water off the pier.
Bundles of what?
It's probably like 5 or 6 feet long. It takes all 3 of them to lift one. And it's just these like big long rolls of fabric are being like tossed into the wharf.
So dead bodies. Got it.
Good to
Or
know.
live bodies.
Maybe one of them is
It's gonna be
Stephen
dark
Pye.
for 2 seconds.
Last question for the party before we return back to the casino. Are we telling Pye or not that we're going to go do a heist? That's the last thing we haven't decided.
Honestly, I feel like if we tell them that we're gonna go anyways, I think they'll be like, "Oh wait, that's awesome! I'm rooting for you."
That's kind of what I think. I think he'd probably be on board with it.
We should probably
Yeah,
wait
I think he'll
tell
be
him
on board.
until about 11 o'clock or midnight when he's about, peak drunkenness.
He needs to be drunk enough that he'll remember it but not care.
Drunk enough that he'll just,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Or sorry, but also drunk enough that he won't think too hard about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
This is a sweet spot you gotta hit.
I can drink with him and tell him I'm wanting to drink.
That's a good plan. Because he trusts you.
I got you, Chris.
So,
Yeah.
Approaching the Riviera, you guys will kind of step into that sort of rotunda area in front of the doors to the main lobby, and you'll see there is like a bellhop standing by the door who catches sight of the 5 of you and immediately is like, "Oh," and immediately like just rushes inside. And as you guys
Well, that
continue
goes well.
into the lobby, you see the front desk also catch a sight of you. You see the bellhop has like rushed towards the dining hall, and the front desk sees you and hails to you, like waves to you guys to come over.
Okay. We go. I go over there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yes, Mr. Pyth has been waiting for you. Just sent someone to go find him. Did you have a good evening tonight? You all look very nice.
Oh, figured we'd taking a show.
Yeah.
Oh. That's nice. She looks a little nervous. And then you hear the obvious voice of Stephen Pyth calling out. It's like, "There you are." And he comes striding out of the ballroom. He's got like a cocktail glass in his hand. He's actually dressed up pretty nicely right now. Still kind of like red and sweaty in the face, but much better shape than the last time you saw him. And as he walks up and reaches out a hand to shake, he says, "So I have excellent news. I've got us cover."
Cover, okay.
Yes. So, and he'll gesture you guys back to the dining hall so you can come and sit. So, I had an idea. I heard that Mr. Segan was. Oh wait, he stops. Not in here, outside. He immediately does an about turn and begins walking back towards the front doors.
Okay.
We don't know who's listening. I heard Segan was back in town. Wasn't expecting that, but it worked out. Got some boys together. I started raising a little ruckus over in his hold, right? So,
Oh, I'm so glad we didn't go.
here's my thinking.
That would have been awkward.
We're going to cover up the original plan with a new plan. but we're not going to use the new plan. We're still going to do the original plan. But he's going to think we're doing the new thing here in Beddingwich.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You following?
So
I
nothing.
think I get what you're saying.
Nothing functionally
So
changes for us.
we're still going to the mansion, but we're making a ruse here, and that we're going here now.
Yes. So
Okay.
I have got so many ideas. It's going to be great. We're going to cause all kinds of hullabaloo. You guys are going to be in the clear, get out of town, no issues, no problems. He's not going to suspect a thing. Point of order. He should think you guys are dead.
Okay.
I should warn you.
Are we going to be dead?
No.
You're not going to
you-
pretend throw us off the roof, are you?
No, it's already taken care of. It's taken care of. Look, I staged the whole thing, all right? Your room's a little messy, but it's going to be cleaned up. We're going to take another pass at it. So just, if it smells a little funky, I do apologize. We'll comp you for the night. But
Could we just get a different room?
We could just switch rooms.
we are pretty full right now, actually. So we're just going to have to... Sorry about that.
I vote we go camping.
We'll figure that out later.
Is curious and wants to go see. What happened?
Did someone... Wait, are we alone with him right now?
Yeah, you guys are like walking outside, out front of the Riviera.
Should
Or not the Riviera, the Hotel Colonial.
Should we care who had to die to convince other people that we were dead?
Don't worry about it. Nobody worth missing. I promise.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to sip my lemonade and we're going to continue.
So, assuming he's still got people in my fucking hotel, he should be hearing that I, flipped out on you guys this afternoon, about the whole botched thing. It's pretty in character for me, right? I kind of get a little wild sometimes. So, flipped out, killed all you guys, fucking scrapped the whole plan, got a new plan now with goblins. Lots of goblins. It's going to be great. I'm going to fuck his shit up here in Beddingwich. He's going to have to stay here, clean house here. You guys, now dead, but alive, can go hit his manor.
Okay.
It's good,
So,
right?
so yes,
Yeah.
I like it. So functionally, we are doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you
But you've
just
got
get to
cover now.
raise a bunch of ruckus while we're gone.
Yeah. No, I think this is going to be honestly more fun for me than the original plan. So, yeah, no, I feel good about this.
And
I feel
just
good
to be
about things.
totally clear,
Mm-hmm.
when we're done, you will take us to Renzel?
Yeah. No worries there.
Inside check.
I'll join
might
you
as
on that.
well. Fuck. 8.
It's all right. It's all right. 16.
16. Okay. He's got a drink in his hand, but his energy is already pretty amped. You get the feeling he's probably been doing coke already tonight. Kind of hard to get a read, Noel. But Burberry, there's definitely weirdness to his energy right now. Like he's like in like a weirdly like twitchy manic place, and it seems odd given the hour. Like unless he started really early today, because he was fucking like dog tired the past couple days. Unless he started really early tonight, there might be something else on his mind.
Does he know about our escapades to the opera?
I mean, we are wearing...
Or sexcapades for one of us?
He didn't bring it up, but we are wearing dresses and suits.
I meant just because
You guys do look really nice tonight. Damn.
I meant because the person who was at the front desk looked very concerned whenever she saw us.
I feel like a tool.
Good.
I feel like we might be overreading it because it just like gardeners and currently laying siege to the Seagull's town and throwing our bodies in the wharf.
It's yeah. We don't really have enough to make any big concrete assumptions on what his intentions are, but we're kind of locked into our planning regardless of what his goals are.
I still vote we don't sleep in our room tonight.
I wouldn't be opposed to taking a night to go out to camp. We gotta head out anyway.
Well, depending on the state of the room, I might be staying elsewhere.
So, Lauren, I will buy you a bottle of alcohol if we leave.
You know, it's probably for the best. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, we got like most of it like scrubbed. Like, it's mostly good. The mattress is still a little. It's starting to smell. We should have a new one in a couple of days though. So you know, it'll be taken care of. Don't worry. Like I said, we can comp you for the night wherever you want to go. Totally fine. On me. You guys look great, by the way. I should have said something earlier. I was just so excited about the whole, you know, new plan thing.
Mr. Pies, you wouldn't be offended if we got a little bit of a head start heading out that way towards Mr. Segan's home?
No. I was actually going to offer to have a carriage ready for you guys if you wanted to leave tonight on account of the chaos.
Wouldn't a carriage be sort of an obvious...
Yeah, I think we will be all right without the carriage.
People take carriages all the time between here and Crazewood. It's like the way to go. Crazewood's on the pretty up and up. It's not like Beddingwich. Beddingwich is.
We're used to walking, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. No offense, you guys are kind of conspicuous. I could see, you know, Shrimpy and Locks over here coming a mile away. You might want to be, you know, laying low if you can, as best you can.
Oh, we have methods. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I don't want to tell you how to do your jobs. Like, you guys know what you're doing. Cool. Good. Awesome. So no carriage. You guys are good on foot. And if you guys want to head out tonight, by all means. Again, sorry about the room. Your things should be good, though. You know, we threw a blanket over them.
Thanks.
Oh, we probably should go get those.
Yeah.
Before we leave.
I'm gonna go buy a bottle of alcohol. I said I was gonna.
Sorry. The way you said that.
I don't know what I did, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Oh my god. Sorry, that was just.
Well, it's having a hard time. We did get out of this conversation.
Yeah.
I can't contain my discontent with this man.
Lauren, you'll get a message that says,
If he asks what you were doing tonight again, tell him that you were trying to meet someone new on an intimate level.
because that's not a lie.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, as for the attire, we were going out and.
Well, look at you. So is everyone playing Wingman tonight?
Oh yeah.
I plan on getting into some mud here real quick.
Barnaby likes to be dirty, and
Barnaby likes to throw down, from what I've seen. Barnaby, wait, Mr. Shrimp.
I mean, Mr. Shrimp likes to.
Retcon. I'm gonna go up to the room to get our stuff. I'll be right back, everybody, and we can get moving.
Okay. Noel steps into one of the side wing stairwells and immediately just fucking hurls before going up to the room.
I haven't seen the room yet. I shouldn't. I was so when you were like, oh yeah, I wanted to go meet someone. I hoped he wouldn't say like, oh, tell me all about it. Who was it?
That's fair.
It'd be a little awkward.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll go get our stuff.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So heading up to the room, bracing yourself. Turn the lock. Turn the handle. Step inside. It's a little more disheveled than you remember seeing it last. The bed has been remade, although it is a little haphazard. It's like housekeeping came in and like very frantically made the bed, and it's not very neat. There is a blanket thrown over the pile of your party's belongings that are just kind of like all gathered in a corner. And there is a significant amount of blood spatter on that blanket. And as you're kind of pulling it off and grabbing everybody's things, kind of glancing around the room, you do notice like there's a couple flecks on the window. There's like one line of spray on a baseboard that got missed.
You did say they tidied it a little bit, right?
Yeah, you can, and like you can see on the walls, like there's definitely like that that smudge trail, like very faint red smudge trail, left by someone like washing in a rush.
Yeah.
Didn't
Is there
take a second
any,
pass at it.
just based on what I'm seeing, any indication of what exactly transpired in here, or is it pretty washed away at this point?
I mean, you can make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll just take a look around real quick. Hey, I rolled an 18 plus 1, so 19.
19. Kind of stand up from your things and start kind of looking around, inspecting the room more closely. You do notice there's several spots in the carpet near the bed that still feel faintly damp underfoot. You can check the bathrooms, and you will see that there are a number of like bloodied kerchiefs that were thrown in a trash can that was not emptied. And just on an impulse, you get down on the carpet to kind of look around a little more closely, and you do see that there are, in several places, kind of caught fibers of what feels like hemp between your fingers, kind of ground into the carpet.
They killed a Lauren.
Hemp and rope.
Oh,
I should
gotcha.
clarify that. That texture of fiber is caught in the carpet in several places. And the longer you stay in the room, the more you can definitely begin to get that irony scent underneath the very chemical, bleachy smell that was used in here. There was definitely some bloodletting that took place.
I'm gonna go buy alcohol.
I'll quickly get
Is
changed back
Stephen
into my...
Pike still like chilling with us?
Yeah, he's still downstairs, like just asking y'all about your night. Like everybody's playing Wingman. Wow, how did it go then? Did you meet anybody? You have a good time? Like what's going on? Dish.
No, it was kind of a letdown.
No, like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no one bit.
Look, if you want a free moment, I mean, if you got a free moment before you guys head out,
What's it, right?
just saying.
Is this what I do, guys? Do I get the second pirate loop? Do I
He
tell
literally
them?
just propositioned you.
Fuck it, why not? Lauren will go for it.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to wait for your friend, Luna? Maybe, you know.
She's
Your
not
sister?
one for sharing.
Sorry.
She's not one for
Oh,
sharing.
boo. More for me. Come. And he'll immediately like sloshing the martini, just turn back towards the hotel and begin to leave upstairs.
No.
This is how she dies.
I like that this was right after this guy clearly just did some kind of horrible bloodletting ritual. Again! How many times is this going to happen?
Lauren didn't see
Or a
the room.
Lauren sleeps with someone right after.
Well, you know, this does make the like she's 4 out of 5 for people who have killed something or someone in front of her that she slept with.
It's Lauren going now.
I have
Lauren-
suspicions about Adlar if you ever hook up with him.
Lauren sure loves killing.
Oh my god, did you chop off his head? That's so hot.
You know, we made a joke about a lord banging all the pirate lords, and I'm like, well,
I mean, you gotta.
the opportunity presented
You
itself.
do it,
so.
you, Lauren.
Hyde will take you up
And
to
him,
his,
actually.
And him.
Hyde
was it?
will take you up to his penthouse, which is just the most gaudily decorated suite you've ever seen. It's like tons of like animal skin rugs and wall hangings, like solid gold statues, like 3 foot high, all over the place. All
Gold
the
toilet.
ornamental weapons and shit hanging on the wall. He's got like multiple life-size portraits of himself, like hanging on various walls around the apartment. Like there's not a single wall you can look at where he's not standing there in some state of undress. One of them's got him in like a toga with like a skull in his hand. One of them's got like him in like this really debonair, like black, sharp suit. One of them's got him in like the full pirate regalia with the big feather hat and the sashes and the sword. Like it's just so much.
Can I just say, I feel like Jacob has been waiting for this.
I was just thinking this, like, he was like, finally, someone's going to his room!
No, I got it. It's all laid out. You want to know what happens?
And as soon as you hit the bed, you look up at the ceiling, and it is just like mirror all the way across the apartment. Like from one end to the other, it is just mirror tiles. So yeah, go ahead and give me a performance roll.
This is gonna be the worst one of the night. Oh no, it was a 15 plus 2.
That's fine.
17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pythe smells like liquor and cocaine, and he is on something tonight. Like there's a slight off-puttingness to that kind of energy, but he rolled a 19, so he really brings his A game. And
the cocaine.
No, you see, it's really
I was really
high. That's
prepared.
the only reason he's not only focusing on himself.
While he's having sex with
Really,
Lauren, he's looking at
way
the
you're
picture of
saying-
himself.
constantly, like he's constantly like shifting and like turning around, like looking at each one in turn. Like it is clearly an act of like self-worship as much as it is anything else. But he did roll a 19, Lauren, so it's I can't argue with the numbers. They are what they are. I think as you guys are wrapping up, he is just like spread eagle on the bed, like legs crossed, staring at the ceiling, staring at himself, and he's just like, man, you know who would have really enjoyed this? That chick we had down in your room earlier. I mean, she was fine. It is such a shame. Ugh. I bet you she would have been down. You think?
I don't know. I never met her.
You know, if you met her, you probably would have liked her. She seemed like a lot of fun, honestly. Real sweetheart, like real petite, like you too. Like it was a good match for the rap. You know, I feel like that was really gonna help sell it.
This is Jacob. This is Jacob twisting the knife.
While this is going on, Noelle returns to the group like, where the hell is Steven? He just done some fucked up shit. Where's Lauren?
Cocaine?
No, he's
He
gone.
offers
He's
you a
having
big
sex
plate.
with Lauren.
No, this is after the sex. He's like, yeah, man, it would have been so cool if she was there. Oh, well. Here, you want some cocaine? It's just a plate with like a pile of it.
Well, you'll be surprised to see Burberry's at the bar. He actually is drinking.
Lauren goes for it.
There you
That's
go.
what Lauren needs. Cocaine. This will only get better.
She's a party girl. We went for this. She's here for a good time, not a long time on this island. I feel so bad for Kat right now. She's just like, oh,
I'm
Lord.
good. It's fine. It's fine. It's
So-
fine. You know what? It's cool.
Lauren does her
Fine.
line. Steven does 2 more lines. Fucking.
I actually feel bad for you. You know, if you looked any more like him, you'd probably never be able to leave.
Do we go for a drink? Tap room's gonna be wild tonight. I got a feeling.
You know, I would, but I think we're about to leave.
I would, but I'm supposed to be
To go to
dead, so...
And I'm also supposed to be dead, so probably not a good thing for me to be out.
Fuck, you're right. Oh my god, I almost totally blew it. My bad. Oh, well, I'm going to the tap room. You guys, good luck at Segan's.
Thank you.
Oh fuck, where are my pants? Probably 10 minutes later, Lauren's able to rejoin the party. And
I was gonna say, when he's trying to dress, she probably or like redress.
okay, sure.
She's just like, well, thank you. Have a good
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the tap room.
You're welcome.
Where's my 50 gold? I need money for that transaction.
Noelle and Burberry are
so
at the bar
rejoining the party.
taking a drink.
She comes back. She's like, fuck, it was good, but she also has this like haunted look in her eyes, and she's like, give me the strongest thing you have.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Give me the strongest thing you have.
The bartender
Okay,
reaches under
like,
the bar and grabs another bottle of Dwarven Fire whiskey. Just pours you another glass.
My constitution was an 11 plus, I think, 2 or 3.
Ooh.
3, so 4.
14. You are poisoned for the next hour. So disadvantage on ability checks.
It was worth it.
It's like balanced out by the cocaine.
Is it?
Advantage on
Does
ability checks for
Lauren
the next hour is
tell
not
you
the
why
effect of
it's ever-
cocaine.
I'll give you advantage then on that saving throw. How's that? Roll it again.
Okay.
What does cocaine do
Oh,
mechanically?
18.
You know,
So
I had it figured out at
18.
one point, but I don't
Haste
know where I
effect.
put those notes.
It's haste.
Haste effect.
It's just haste. Yeah, that's a pass. You're good. No poison.
Okay.
Just good, solid whiskey to drown your sorrows.
Okay.
Burberry
Lauren's
hands
like,
you
I'm gonna
2
change
bottles
real quick.
when you're done. Because he said he's
Oh
not
my
gonna
god, she pops open the bottle and is
He hands you 2 bottles and says, one of those is water, one of those is Everclear. I'm not telling you which is which.
I like this game. And she pops up a both. And she's like,
Watered down everything. All right,
Well, I
let's.
think at least this way she's getting some hydration.
That's true.
in her.
Hydration's important. Let's go. We have a long walk ahead of us.
Noelle, are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm just disgusted with Steven.
I'm mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
I kind of. It's kind of where.
I know, I get scolded by Noelle on the walk in the forest. She's like, how could you do this, Noelle? Lauren, how could you do this?
No, I wouldn't scold you, but I would definitely recount the terror that I just saw in the fucking bedroom.
And Lauren would just start drinking more.
Like,
She'd just be like, oh god.
I'm pretty sure this guy just like grabbed people off the street or something and tied them up and killed them.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Is that Burberry? Thank you, Burberry. I need support right now.
You just hear like a noise underneath.
Oh god.
So,
So
you know, guys, I've done 2 pirate lords. Pirate lieutenant.
3.
So we're ready.
You're almost
Making good.
halfway there.
I'm halfway there. I'm almost there.
Well,
We
how
walk
far
to
do we
the-
get? The
how long do you guys want to walk? Because you guys got out of the opera probably like 9 o'clock, and cross town like half an hour, and then spent the next half hour waiting for Lauren to finish with Steven.
I'd say far enough to get like an hour out of town.
So probably leaving about 10 o'clock.
yeah, we'll go for a
You wanna
couple
walk for
hours of
another hour?
travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume you're heading for Razor Brig.
Correct. We are heading to our
Yes.
alternate quest.
Okay. So in that direction, there is a dirt road that I guess you would probably be able to surmise this road kind of starts at the juncture of 2 other smaller roads that branch off of the main roads that leave town east and west. So whatever gate you head out of, there's a dirt road that kind of bends in the direction you're wanting to follow. You follow that for a while, and then you meet another road, and you see that fork, and it's like, all right, this one leads to Razor Brig. Start heading that direction. Do you want to stay on the road, or do you want to stick to more wilderness?
Wilderness.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll stay sort of closest to the road, but not travel on it.
Okay.
Basically far enough off of it that if we see somebody else coming, we can hide.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So behind you, you can see the lights of Bedding Witch casting the great mound and tower at the heart of the town, sort of in a stark silhouette on the horizon. And ahead of you, it is nothing but starry skies and rolling hills. There is some brush and like a handful of trees here and there in small copses. Not a lot of vegetation out here, though, beyond that. It's pretty open, which could be a problem down the road. And you do see here and there in the hills as you walk over the next couple hours, there are small, like, pinpoints of light that look like, little rural homesteads here and there. Occasionally you'll cross a small, barely trodden like dirt path kind of trailing off this main one that you're sort of shadowing. And occasionally, you'll have to like hop a fence into a field of crop and kind of just hike through this, waist high field of corn or carefully traipse around heads of lettuce or whatever. Like there's a little bit of settlement out this direction, but as you walk, it does seem to thin out more and more. And before long, it is quite dark behind you, quite dark ahead of you, nothing but stars overhead, and starting to feel very, very late. At which point, I imagine you'll probably want to make camp for the night before continuing on the next day. So, we will end it there. It is midnight, more or less. Same day that you started. And you guys are en route to Razor Brig.
Sure are a lot of stars out tonight.
I found it really funny when he was describing the tattoo because he goes, "Oh, it's a star with an no, it's a sun with the sun is a star though."
True. Maybe he doesn't know that.
I mean, it is important to delineate the two. The motifs so different.
Exactly. You don't call your son a star, you call him a sun.
Yes.
Unless he is a celebrity, then it could be your son's star.
So, MVP vote for the night.
Either Noel or Lauren.
Depends on if,
Too.
it depends on if we count flirting as successful.
I'd honestly say
I vote Noel.
I was gonna
so-
say I'm gonna vote Lauren for actually being willing to sleep with a pirate lord.
Several times.
Yes. Could have gone many
Two
different
pirate
ways.
lords.
Exactly.
Yeah, why not? You know what? She burned her inspo on sex.
Sure. Yeah.
I did. I
Sure.
was committed.
All right.
Okay.
Lauren gets an extra RP point for the night. And
Okay, I'm cashing in my 3 to regain
okay. And
inspo, so I have 2 now.
Cool.